Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Man, it feels like I haven't been here in a month, if we're being honest. I feel like I haven't been here in like a month, 2 months. It feels like a long time. I feel like I don't remember how to do a radio show right now.
It's 2 days. That's all.
Are you sure? I swear to you, then that was like the longest weekend ever, if that's the case, because I feel like I have not been here in quite a long time.
What made it feel so long?
Man. Like, I love watching 10U baseball, my kids' team playing and all that, but I'm telling you, where they played on Saturday, we were in like a wind tunnel, I felt like, for 5 or 6 hours on Saturday.
You got Wizard of Oz.
What does that mean?
Like, get caught up in a tornado and stuff. You go to like a mystery world for a little bit. Maybe that's what happened to you.
Props for you, young and knowing Wizard of Oz. I'm impressed.
It's my girlfriend's favorite movie. I've seen it like 100 times.
Good. That's a great movie. I was a munchkin. Did you know that?
Oh, and my mom's favorite movie, actually, too. Happy Mother's Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So it was so cold and so windy, and we were out there the entire time. We were literally like wearing jackets. Sunday we came back. Parents one dad came back wearing winter gloves and a stocking cap because it was so cold. Just never, ever have I ever been in anything like that watching a baseball game outside. It's sun's out, but the wind would just not stop.
Well, that's how it felt today, too. Like, Saturday overall was nice, though. I went mini golfing. That was nice.
I'm telling you, Saturday, and again, maybe because we were way up in the air on a hill type deal. Oh, my gosh. It just was horrible. Either way, and they lost. So that just adds to it. That didn't help either. Coming up on today's show, normally we have Tim Dillard, Brewers TV analyst, normally joins us at 2:20. He needed to be moved back a little bit today. So instead, we'll talk with Tim Dillard at 3 o'clock when we talk about the crew every day at 3 o'clock. So Tim Dillard today at 3 o'clock. Mike Wahle, former Packers offensive lineman, joins us for our green and gold update coming up today at 4 o'clock. I was going back in my phone. I was like, damn, man, we haven't had this dude on in like 2 months. Like, we need to get Mike Wahle on and talk to him. So we'll talk to Mike Wahle coming up at 4 o'clock. Lots to get into. Obviously today, but I mean, the main story all day is this.
Terang in the center field. Grisham is on the run. Grisham looks up, and there she goes. Bryce Terang walks off the Yankees. Somebody get Billy Hall on the phone. 20 years later, the Brewers get a walk-off on Mother's Day, and it is Terang who wins it.
People question Brian Anderson. Why is he so good? That's why. That call right there is why. Somebody get Billy Hall on the phone. That's it. He could, maybe he had it written down in case something happened there at the end of the game.
He probably saw it
but that was amazing.
He probably saw it in the game notes or something like that. Just saw it earlier in the day. And then to have like the ability to recall that in that moment of excitement, that's awesome. That's so much skill, dude.
Yes, it was awesome. And Billy Hall, this one. High fly ball, deep right field. Happy Mother's Day. Go! It's just so good, right? So good. Brewers TV on both of those. This is the thing, is that when you get those moments, it does something for everybody involved. This Brewers team now has won 9 of 12 all of a sudden. This Brewers team sweeps the Yankees and does their thing. And now a day off today, feel good about yourself, right? Everything just caps off the way you want it to be. The only thing missing was Terang's mom being at the game, like Billy Hall's mom was at the game. But still, that was a pretty sweet deal. And then everybody there at American Family Field had to be losing their ever-loving minds too. Plus, he's got the pink bat, just like Billy Hall did, wearing the same number as Billy Hall. Everything was what you wanted it to be at that moment. And I promise you, and I was listening Inside Wisconsin Sports earlier today, and Trevor and Josh were talking about those sports moments that you'll never forget where you were. I'll tell you this, if you were at that game, you'll never forget that game for the rest of your life. You will always remember Mother's Day 2026 when Bryce Terang did his thing and won that baseball game for the Brewers, Charlie.
Well, and it was just a really cool moment for the season too. Not even just all time, but for this year. It feels like that game, this series, it felt like what we were expecting this Brewers team to be at the beginning of the season. And I know they were still a good team, but it felt like something was off. And this is when they felt like, for the first time to me this season, that they were the Milwaukee Brewers we were expecting.
That's correct. And that's the thing too about this Brewers team right now. You have all of these things that are floating around on the different national websites, right? Like, what does every Major League Baseball team still need, right, after the first month or so of the season? And I went to 2 or 3 of them. And what do they all say for the Brewers? Power, power, power.
Shocking.
They all say power. And again, who am I to argue with them? I think we all agree. Where's that power going to come from? Well, part of it's going to come from Churio and Vaughn get going with some of their long balls, right? Some of it's going to come from when Yelich gets back in this lineup here in the next week or two, and you add some more power to this lineup. And then the other part of it has to come from either a shortstop replacement or a third baseman replacement. There's no way that you can go to sleep at night and wake up the next morning as somebody running the Milwaukee Brewers and go, yeah, we're good. We'll just play with this all year. There's just no way. There's no chance. It would drive me nuts. But again, this is why fans can't be GMs, why fans can't be presidents of baseball operations or managers, because we have little to no patience. Friend of mine over the weekend, Charlie, Joe Ortiz was up.
Uh-huh.
He texted me. He's like, he should jump in front of the pitch to get on base.
That's basically what David Hamilton does. He just bunts. Like, he maybe just tries doing that. No, you're not as fast.
Just jump in front of the pitch and take one for the team and get on base.
Every time, it just feels like it's going to be so anticlimactic. Every time he walks up to play, I have zero expectations.
Correct. Agreed. And he keeps coming up with the bases loaded time and time again. But either way, so yes, that's what's going to happen. But what I want to know from you is just real simple. What's been the biggest difference? How all of a sudden did they flip this bad boy? Because they were in first. They fell all the way down to last. And now they're climbing back up, sitting in third, having won 9 of 12, sitting, 3.5 games behind the Chicago Cubs at this point. What do you think has been the biggest difference here in these last dozen or so games that's helped flip the script for the Brewers back into the positive category, including getting this sweep against the New York Yankees? And again, the same team that swept the Brewers at the beginning of last year. And I was telling everybody to calm down, a lot of season to go. I feel like I need to do the same thing now after they sweep
you
the
were
Yankees.
A little worried about the torpedo bats. You weren't completely
I was very
calm.
worried.
Yeah.
I said, you better buy the damn torpedo bats, because if you don't, you're going to be behind the rest of Major League Baseball. And of course they didn't, and it was not a big deal. It just turns out the Brewers pitching sucked that weekend, or that opening series. But I'll do the same thing now. Let's settle down and sweeping the Yankees. Just like settle down on them sweeping you at the beginning of the year. Settle down on this. It's freaking May, right? I mean, if we're in September and they're number 1 team in the AL East and you're, sitting here in second or third place in the NL Central trying to make the playoffs, then yes. Then it's like, okay, now we're going to close strong. Here we go. Use that momentum. It's nice. It feels good to beat the big bad Yankees and their payroll and all of that. Aaron Judge gets a home run over the weekend. Probably thought he's going to get more than that.
Right.
Mizorowski was a beast doing his thing. I mean, I don't know what more you want.
I mean, again, everything is just locked in. And the biggest key to me is the fact that while the rest of the team has started getting going here, the bats have gotten going, the relief pitching has evened out a little bit.
Trevor McGill getting through scoreless innings.
Looking good. I mean, like you were saying, just get him into the 9th inning role. I don't know if I still I don't know if I want to give it to him back right away yet. Again, still
right away. It's been weeks.
I know. Still give him a little bit more time. Still, like he looks good in how he's pitching right now. Just keep it going for now. But I think the biggest key is the fact that the starting pitching hasn't wavered at all during that time. Throughout this time, with these other guys starting to get out of a little bit of a cold stretch, you would expect maybe the group that was hottest on this team to take a step back while other guys start to take a little bit more of the load, but they haven't. It seems like they've taken more of the load and they feel even more comfortable. And that's with Brandon Woodruff going down with the dead arm, like we were hearing last week and a couple weeks ago, and Jacob Mizorowski getting a little bit of the scare with the hamstring. These are all things that you would think maybe would slow that group down, but it hasn't. And they've been able to stay hot and be really good for a group that doesn't have a veteran in that unit.
I got some text coming in here on the Nicolay Law Talk text line. What's the biggest difference? What's the biggest change that's propelled this team to win 9 of its last 12 and sweep the Yankees? 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Stream us, baby. Stream us at WI Sports Radio as always. And again, in case you ever miss anything, all you got to do is go to wisportsradio.com. You can get all the podcasts there, wherever you download your favorite podcast at, or text Sparky to the Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250 to get a link to that day's show or any day's show if you miss it. Again, just Sparky to the Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250. From the 414, somebody get Bryce Terang's agent on the phone and extend him. How much more evidence does one need? Okay, 414. I feel like that is a fair thing to say. I will also say, if you're on Instagram Live or if you're on the Fan Milwaukee Facebook page or you're on YouTube, Dugout YouTube channel, always available for you to comment as well, or all the other social media platforms to comment back on. This is the thing. We've talked about this in the past. They can't afford him. They cannot afford him. Willy Adames, making around $30 million a year. Willy Adames. He stinks. Now, he was good, okay, good. I don't know. He's not Bryce Terang. I know that. Now, the good news is Adames is a shortstop. Terang's a second baseman, so it's going to be less money for Terang. Fine. But you're still saying somewhere around $25 million in order to get that done for him. If you do Contreras, it's probably like 17 or 18, significantly less if we're talking about extending one of the guys currently here. And Terang has 3 years left on his deal after this year. Contreras has 1. So those are the debates. Terang long-term, would everybody sign up for Bryce Terang long-term? Yes. I think everybody listening to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network right now, whether you're in Duluth, Superior, Fox Valley, and Appleton, Green Bay, Wausau, Southeastern Wisconsin, listening wherever you're listening or watching wherever you're watching on social media, if you're a Brewers fan, I think everybody goes, yes, Bryce Terang, please, all day long. We all agree. But realistically, they just can't do it. Now, there's a new CBA. After we go into lockout strike, whatever ends up happening as of December 1st, once the CBA disappears and expires, and we potentially miss games next year. Now, if the new CBA makes it easier to get Bryce Terang signed to a long-term deal, and there's a cap and all this other stuff that goes into it, maybe then we can revisit it and talk about, okay, now with this new current CBA, now maybe they can get Terang, at a number that makes sense for them going forward. Maybe revenue sharing changes. But again, they're already getting over $300 million in revenue. That's a lot of damn money. It hadn't made a hell of a lot of difference with the payroll. So they're already getting a boatload of money. It's not going towards payroll, at least. It doesn't appear so. 414, biggest difference was Brandon predicting it this past weekend. You think that's Brandon Snide's cell phone number?
I'll double check.
I don't have it saved. But if you listen to 9 to noon today, 3/4 of that show was them talking about Brandon Snide predicting a sweep. He texted me last night, very happy that he got predicted the sweep. I'm happy that Brandon Snide,
that is Brandon Snide's phone number. Yes.
See, come on, man. Jeez. Good Lord. So, yeah, Brandon texted in to give him credit. Okay, Brandon, you deserve credit. I got to tell you, I got to say this about Brandon Snide. He's about building his brand. Like, he's going to push this down your throat until you say how great he is, one way or the other.
He is great though.
He is.
That's the best part of it.
Yeah,
He'll push it down your throat, but he's good at what he does.
I love Brandon. Love Brandon Snide. So that's good. Jonah from River Falls on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. They'll be able to afford him after the salary cap gets enacted during the 27 work stoppage. Yeah, possibly. Maybe that's how this thing gets done at the end of the day. But something's going to have to change because under the current system, they can't afford him. But regardless, you have 3 more years of him no matter what. They're not trading him with 3 years left on his deal. So this is not Giannis. Oh, he's playing his last season out of here. There he goes. Or if it's William Contreras next year, if he's still playing on the Brewers, they don't trade him. Okay, well, he's going to be gone after this year. That's not what this is. You have plenty of time to enjoy Bryce Terang. Get your Bryce Terang jerseys today. Plenty of time still to wear them to American Family Field and support potentially the best player on the team.
I don't know, the way you're talking, I'll wait my 3 years and get them when they're on sale then.
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. You absolutely could wait the 3 years and get them on sale. Yeah, you're right about that. Listen up, late night cravings. Eat great, even late, because Wendy's is now open till midnight or later. You know you want that irresistible, juicy Baconator loaded with 6 strips of oven-cooked bacon. Get yourself to Wendy's tonight before those midnight cravings become a full-blown hungry nightmare. Hours may vary by location. If you're going to Wendy's at midnight, that has to be a Frosty somewhere in that order.
Couple Frosties, maybe.
One or the other, man.
They got plenty of different flavors. Always got a specialty one. Like
you got the cookie dough one right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, always got a specialty one. You're absolutely right about that. Jeff in Milwaukee says, Terang will never be extended. 3 more years of control. All the young guys will be more than ready by that point. Yeah, they very well will be more than ready by that point. Again, Pena, I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared and nervous about Pena. Like the fact that there's still nothing and he ain't playing. Like I'm a little bit concerned on what's going on with Pena and not really finding out what's going on. So I'm a little worried about that.
And it could just be a one-time thing. So I wouldn't be too concerned until we do actually hear something. At the same time, you worry for just a young person who's going through that in general. Like, just not even just because he's the number 2 prospect in the Brewers system, but just because he's a kid that's falling over the dugout, having a scary moment. That's terrifying.
Right. Dugout YouTube channel. Terang is a California boy. The Dodgers will throw hundreds of millions at him. Yes.
Probably.
Yes. And he'll be gone.
Or the Padres, who also throw money at people, or the Giants, who also throw money at people. Since
we're just ruining everybody's day, you can get ready for Mizorowski, too, to have the same thing happen. If we're just going to talk about everybody they can't afford to keep, that same thing is going to happen to Mizorowski when he gets there. Now, we have even more time with Mizorowski to watch him. Really enjoy that. This cat here, this dude legitimately can throw a no-hitter every time the man steps on the mound. Every time he goes out there, you can be like, hey, man, we might see a no-hitter tonight. Here we are. Save your tickets. Oh, that's right. We don't have ticket stubs anymore to save.
Well, you can still get them to print them, and at the box office, it just costs you like $20 to do it.
Good God. From the 503, Sparky, Ted in Portland here. I love Terang, but Contreras is more essential to the future of the team. He's a unicorn when it comes to the offense, leadership, and pitching management. He should be the highest paid player on this team. Terang is great, but let's ride him for 3 more years and let Pena or Madej take over. Ted, you and I are in agreement. I want to pay Contreras right now. I've been asking for it. Now, again, he may be asking for a number that Matt Arnold just shakes his head and goes, yeah, nah, I can't do that. That's too expensive. Good luck in free agency. But they've already may have reached that number. Or Contreras may be like, let's wait on the new CBA. Let's see what I can get after the new CBA happens. Who knows? I hope the Brewers would want to give him an extension, even though they got Jefferson Kara coming. He's right there knocking on the heels at AAA, so he's ready to go if Contreras can. I agree with you the unicorn thing. We've talked about this whole thing to death. I think he's Yadi Molina Jr. I just do. He is unbelievable.
Well, and even if it isn't Jefferson Cuero, you have Marco Dingus down there at single A too. Like you have so many options. The Brewers are so loaded in the infield, man.
920. You guys have no patience. We're 20 minutes into the show, and I'm getting called out already. Hey, surprised we didn't hear nothing about Andrew Fisher yet today. Man, we've been on the air for 20 minutes. Just give me some time. We're on the air till 5 o'clock, 3 hours. 3 hours. You think I'm not going to play any Andrew Fisher audio today? You must be kidding yourself. We have it ready to go. We're going to get to it, just not right now, man. We'll get to it. Like in the 440 segment, it's going to be the last segment. Things we missed, we are going to give you some Andrew Fisher. I promise you, because you're right. That's my guy.
And he's looking damn good, man.
Wait till you hear the numbers I got on Andrew Fisher. Going to blow your mind. And if you haven't gone to a Timber Rattlers game yet, go buy your tickets because he's going to get promoted. He's going to get promoted. And then you're going to have to go to Biloxi to go see him. A lot cheaper to go to Appleton than it is to Biloxi.
Hang out with Kevin Holden. Isn't that Biloxi around North Carolina too?
I don't know. But if that's the case, then I need Kevin Holden to drive to Biloxi and get some interviews for us. Is it that close where he's at? I don't know, man. I don't know. Either way. All right, take a quick time out. Come back on the other side. We're going to talk about the Bucks and their lottery. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's misfortune. They didn't go backwards. They didn't really have good fortune. They didn't move up. So they stay at 10. But I've already got a pretty strong opinion about this pick at 10. We'll talk about that coming up next. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you. Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you. Charlie Usen, other side of the glass here on a Monday. Hope all is well in your world. I hope you had a good weekend. Enjoyed some okay weather from over the weekend. I wonder, with how screwed up this weather has been, I wonder how many people are like actually physically going outside and planting things yet. Because I feel like we've had multiple frost warnings, at least in southeastern Wisconsin, over the last couple of weeks.
That's my girlfriend and I planted some like herbs and stuff, and those have been doing okay. We also planted like one tomato plant just to see. It died within like 2 days because the weather has been so weird. So we have not planted any more tomato plants. I think tomorrow night we're going shopping for more plants. We're going to try to plant this week. That's what her mom told us to do.
Really?
This week's a good week to start planting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've got so many things we got to do outside as far as planting flowers and stuff like that. But we got them in the pots already outside, and they've survived. Nothing's died on us so far, so that's been good. But like along the side and in the back by the deck area, we haven't done anything with that yet. So I'm just sitting debating, like, dude, I know I want to put stuff and then waste money and have it.
I think it's like a good time. I feel like this week's going to be good.
No more snow.
I don't think so. Not as far as I know. You probably just brought it upon us, though.
Probably. Okay, so normally Tim Dillard's at this time. We'll have Tim Dillard at 3 o'clock. Had to move it back for him today. Brewers TV analyst, former Brewers pitcher, joins us coming up at 3 o'clock. Instead, Bucks lottery was over the weekend. They didn't go anywhere. They didn't move up. They didn't move down. They stayed at number 10. I had no faith that she was going to be a good luck charm, but she was there nonetheless. Mallory Edens, Wes Edens' daughter, was there and said this.
What was it like being up there for you?
It was so fun. It was fun to be back.
And did you have like maybe any anxieties or maybe, I guess, being nervous about the balls dropping?
Not super nervous, just hopeful that we would jump up, but fun to be here.
And you said you did this previously, right?
Yeah, I did.
What was your guys' I guess, drawings that time versus this time? Did you fare better?
We did. We had the second pick overall that year. It was 2014.
Yeah, that was a good year for you guys.
Yeah, but we were a worse team that year, so give and take.
Was it? He ripped up both of his knees. I don't think that was better luck necessarily. I mean, technically they had two, yes, but the player itself never worked in Jabari.
Yeah, but that wasn't like Jabari's fault. It's kind of the Greg Oden route where it just breaks down. Like he was great before he got hurt. He was great this first time he came back, and then he just got hurt again. I'm
just saying it didn't work out. Here we go. Moving on.
And for you, I guess in this whole process, is it cool? I guess like kind of like being a part of the team in that aspect and kind of being a good luck charm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of my dad. He has worked really hard to build what he's built in Milwaukee, and I love an opportunity to support him, and so grateful for the way that the fans in Milwaukee and the community in Wisconsin has like welcomed me into their Bucks life. So I'm always happy for the opportunity to be a part of it.
And my final question is, do you see maybe in the future being more involved in the team, or are you going to stick to your career?
I don't know. I have 2 jobs right now, so I'm a little busy, but I love basketball. I'm a lifelong fan of the NBA, long before my family had any kind of official involvement. So I don't know, just happy to stay around the sport and love being a fan for the time being.
Could you imagine it's her and Jimmy Haslam?
I think they could figure it out. You have no faith in that?
Oh my God.
She loves basketball, man.
Please no. God, no, please don't let this happen. No.
She's lately been more visible than Wes.
Well, there is that. But we know why Wes hasn't been visible. He's involved in some blackmail scandal for like $1 billion or whatever. Y'all read that story over the weekend? Oh my goodness. Tell you, man, videos in that area, not a good idea, man. Not a good idea. Be videoing everything in your life. Good here, live stream, right? No videos like that. Woo. I'd say I feel bad for Wes Edens. I kind of do, but you got to know better than that, man. You start making videos and you're worth billions of dollars. You better hope that other person isn't in it for the money and making those videos and then potentially screwing you over at the end of the day, or somebody else is going to screw you over. Don't you got to think about that?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, even if you have no money, if you're making videos, that still could end up being very, very scandalous at the end of the day.
You're putting yourself out there a lot.
Literally.
You're putting yourself out there. Everything you do, some of these people, again, are making videos 24/7. They have the camera rolling all the time, say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. You're always in a spotlight. That's scary.
No, absolutely not. do we got? We have people talking about growing things outside.
Yeah. And Constance says, garden is ready. Onions are growing.
I've never grown vegetables, but I want to try banana peppers.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I love banana peppers. I was thinking about potentially. We gotta get one of those raised gardens, though, I think.
Yeah, we grew jalapenos last year, and those ended up pretty good. We got 5 of them, 6 of them throughout the summer.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. All right, the question is this. Is Pick 10 a good enough spot to stay and make a selection for the Bucks? Do you think Pick 10 is a good enough spot in this lottery to stay and make the pick? Nikolai Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. I'm already all in on what I want done. I don't have to think about this anymore. I'm good. The line appears to be about 8 or 9. Probably, I would say 8. You like the guard from Arizona, maybe it's 9. I'm not a fan. But if that's the case, maybe it's 8. Amen from Tennessee, who everybody has them taking. Go read some of the write-ups on this cat. Do you know what you find? The floor. Well, he could be a good rotational player or low-level starter. That's the floor. The upside, obviously, is through the roof, but that's the floor, right? That's the floor. No, I don't want this pick. I don't want anything to do with this pick. Now, having said that, what would I do with this pick? I figure out how to get up into the top 5 if I can, right? The Clippers have their pick thanks to the idiot Pacers. So they're up there. So if there is interest of a Bobby Portis and 10 and something else to get to 5 and you flip, they take 10, you take 5, you go up, they come back. Hell yes, I would do that. Whatever the case may be, I would definitely attempt that. Any type of veteran player with 10 to get up to 5. Now you can get a really good high impact player at that point to get up to the Clippers pick. And Charlie and I were screwing around. And we'll talk more about this at 320 about how can they get up even higher than 5 and how that all works out. And we'll get to that at 320, but I don't want 10. Like I don't want Ament. I don't like anything behind Ament. I'd rather just get out of there completely or just trade the pick with whatever else to get a veteran player coming back. But sitting and picking, I have no interest in that.
Well, you bring up like Amon's comps, and then when you hear guys like Caleb Wilson, who's the projected number 4 pick to the Bulls right now, he's getting floor of Kevin Garnett, ceiling of Giannis. That was the latest comps I saw for him. Like,
you see his workout video?
Yeah, he looks like an animal. Like when you're getting those types of players popping up in the 4th pick of this draft, you have to know that there has to be some kind of market to get up into that spot for the Milwaukee Bucks.
I saw a mock that had Darius Acuff, my guy, falling to 6.
Yeah, that's where NBA has theirs, the post-draft one that they recently did.
If I can get to 5 and get Acuff, yes, sir.
I think that's what's really interesting about this year's draft, and especially just the top 10, top 15 picks. The NBA was so weird this year where I think you have a lot of teams who are at that point of, oh, we're 1 player away. We're a couple players away that are ending up in that top 10 range. And if the Bucks can convince them that, hey, you can get still a decent rookie at number 10, and you can add a Bobby Portis like we're talking about. You can add a couple pieces, maybe free up some salary if we take on one of your bigger salaries back, then you can figure this out. I think there's a really, really strong market for the Bucks to potentially move up and get a key impact player right away.
Q is over there on the Dugout YouTube channel. What's the goal? To compete next year? Not a chance. No, Q. I thought isn't he a basketball fan? Yeah. The goal is to get a great player. I don't care if they're competing or not competing next year. The goal is to get a player that potentially could be a perennial all-star, a potential Hall of Famer, whatever, to get a superstar. When you're up there in the lottery, how do I get a superstar? They've not been at this spot in a long time, right? So if you can go from 10 to 5, moving up, giving up something else to go up 5 spots to get a potential stud, I say yes, because I'm not there. And literally, I know Amen was like a top 5 guy before the season, Sparky. Yeah, did you watch him? I mean, no.
And the fact that he's dropped all the way that far.
Not the most athletic kid in the world either.
When you could move up just 2 spots even and get a Mikael Brown Jr. out of Louisville. Like that's a guy that can be an immediate impact player. You have to take that.
He's been hurt, so his medicals are going to determine it. Now, if his medicals aren't great, maybe he falls to 10. And again, now what are you doing? You're rolling the dice and hoping you can keep him healthy. Again, I like him, though. I like him a hell of a lot more than I like Amon at this point. Let's go to Trell, north side of Milwaukee. You're next on Wisconsin Sports Daily with me, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. What's up, Trell?
What's going on, Sparky? How you doing?
Doing good, man. How was the weekend?
It was pretty good, man.
Good.
Laid back, relaxed a little bit, and I worked a little bit too. So pretty good. I got a plan for number 10, Sparky.
All right, let's hear it.
So this is my plan. If I was the Bucks, this is what I would do. Of course, if they had a chance to move in the top 5, and it wasn't like a crazy deal, them giving up too much or whatever, I'd be good for that. But I would stay at 10 if I'm the Bucks. I would contact Elijah Arena's agent and tell him, enter the draft, you're a guaranteed top 10 pick. Now, the Bucks would have to probably have at least 2 other people that they're willing to draft at that position, because if Elijah enters, it might be a team that will draft him before. Right now, he's not entering. He's choosing not to enter and play another year. But I would call his agent and tell him if he comes out, we'll give you a handshake deal. He's a guaranteed top 10 pick. Either we're going to pick him at 10 or somebody's going to snatch him before we get him, before 10. That's what I would do, because I think that kid has star potential written all over him. He's got the pedigree, and he's a 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan and 200 pounds. Prototypical shooting guard. We haven't had one of those around here in a very long time. And I think we'll be able to keep Ryan. I like Ryan Rouse's progression. I wouldn't mind him being a point guard, but I need some studs throughout that lineup if he's going to be our point guard. So that would be my plan, what I would do.
The problem is the deadline already passed. He had until April 24th to enter the draft.
I thought they have time to either go back or either they can put their name into it. I think there's more time.
They have to put their name in before April 24th. Then they have the option to withdraw after that, for sure. But you have to have submitted by April 24th, and then you can withdraw by NCAA withdrawal deadline and retain eligibility is May 27th. NBA withdrawal deadline, regardless, is June 13th.
So he can't do it. He can't put his name in there anymore.
I don't believe so. No, I believe April 24th was the deadline for it. So I think it's too late.
Yeah, because last year he had the accident and he came back, toward the end of the season, but he still averaged almost 15 coming back off his injuries.
Yep.
I think he's going to be a top 5 pick, maybe even a top 3 pick next year.
And they don't have a pick next year, so they will not get him. Right. Terrell, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, but I believe you could not enter. He missed the deadline, so now he can't do anything. Step up to the plate and take a shot at winning major prizes in the $300,000 Big League Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. April through June, you can win a share of $300,000 in prizes. All monthly promo entries count towards the grand finale drawings on June 26th. Get triple the entries during Brewers home games and score one of the 3 all-new Toyota vehicles. More info online. Must be 21 and rewards member to play only at Potawatomi. Don't forget, they got shuttles to and from Brewers home games as well right there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Just got to make a $5 purchase or more. Ask for your bracelet so you can ride the shuttle and you're good to go. And you park in their free parking garage. Not spending $20, $25 on parking. It's right there. Free, and it's covered. It's sheltered on top of it. If you park in the parking garage, it's the way to go. I'm telling you. You go have a beverage, maybe make a bet on the Brewers game for them to win or whatever, and then head on out. If they win, you come back, cash your ticket, paid for the $5 easily, and you made some more money on top of that, Charlie.
I mean, there's no better deal out there, man.
No, there's not a better deal out there. Absolutely. From the 262, we have got to quit being delusional. You're not going to get a 5 for Bobby Portis. No, you have no. You misunderstood. It's 10 and Portis, or 10 and Turner, or 10 and Kuzma, whatever. You attach to 10. You're not keeping 10. What I'm saying is you take player, attach it to 10 to move up. They get 10, you get 5. Anyways, we'll continue on. We have no talent to entice any team into moving up in the draft. Please take our junk so we can move up to 5. Just not going to work. Larry from Tosa. Larry, I disagree. I don't think people in this league think Bobby Portis is junk. I don't. And I also don't think that people in this league think Miles Turner is junk either. And if you look at the Miles Turner deal, it's not all that crazy when you start looking at some of the other contracts in the NBA. So I think both of them are tradable. Kuzma, you may have a point, but you have seen points last year where Kuzma flashed that he might be able to be good. The problem is it's just never consistent with Kyle Kuzma. You get a stretch of a few games, and then he goes back to being Kyle Kuzma. Then you get a stretch of a few games, and then he goes back to being Kyle Kuzma. I don't. Now, again, I'm not saying you're getting 5 for Bobby Portis. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is you attach him and maybe another pick or whatever to 10 to try to get up to 5 with the Clippers, because the Clippers are pretty much in win now mode.
Well, I guess unless the Clippers are thinking of doing the same thing, that's the other thing with a lot of these teams being at the same spot, is that some of these teams that have veteran players may look at where they are in the draft right now and say, hey, that's a better spot to be than having Kawhi Leonard and Kawhi Leonard on our team. We can just move on from that and maybe reset ourselves and see if Kawhi Leonard's worth anything in the trade market. I think you have a problem where the 10th pick may not be enticing enough to some of these squads when there's other moves that they can make themselves and restart faster than the Bucks will in order to get the best value.
From the, 906, Jalen Johnson, another player, and 3 first-round picks for Giannis and Turner. Then the Bucks have numbers 8 and 10 this year to add around Johnson, Rollins, KPJ. Would Atlanta do it? No. I do not think I don't think they would. And if I just want to check something to make sure, but don't they have Porzingis in Atlanta?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm pretty sure Atlanta has Porzingis. So with that being said, no, they're not. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't. Could be wrong. I would love it.
I would love it from
intrigued.
I don't think they would just say no right away to the Bucks. It's
You're
still
not
Giannis.
Move off Porzingis though. For Miles Turner, what is Porzingis' contract?
Well, I mean,
Porzingis contract. I mean, it all depends on how long it is. Porzingis, Porzingis is on an expiring contract.
You could entertain that, man.
Porzingis contract expires after this year.
Well, you just say, okay, Porzingis, you're going to Milwaukee. Like, I don't know. Like, you just send him here too in that trade.
Expires, so it's an expiring contract. So maybe Porzingis comes back this way, Turner goes back the other way. So maybe it's Jalen Johnson, Porzingis, and whatever. And then Giannis and Miles Turner go back the other way. And that gives them a center who played well with Giannis when they were on the floor together. You have that working because you're sending them in a combo package over there. But even that, well, maybe. I mean, because you're talking about Porzingis is at like $30 million right now for his contract. I would love that deal. I would.
Not that he's going to stay healthy either. If you want somebody to be on the court.
Let's see. Oh yeah, no, he's in Golden State. Why did I think he was in Atlanta? Wasn't he in Atlanta?
That's what
for
I
a
thought.
brief time.
Guys,
no, he's in Golden State. All right, so that takes care of that. So yeah, no, I don't. But yes, I would do that.
He was with Atlanta to start the season.
He was.
Year, yeah.
Okay. So I would do that deal. Yes. If Atlanta wanted to do that deal, sure. Would Atlanta do that deal? It all depends on what they think of Miles Turner, I guess. And pick 8 and pick 10. Now, essentially, you could package 8 and 10 and potentially move up. Right? Now you can take both of them and maybe you get up in the top 3.
That'd probably be a little bit easier. I don't know. Q points out on the dugout chat that you'd have to trade 2032 first and the 2026 number 10 to maybe move up, but probably still not into the top 5, even if you add Bobby or Kuzma.
No, it's got to be top 5. If it's not top 5, I'm not going. It has to be top 5 or I'm not going. If I can get to 3, 4, or 5, I'm going. I'm out. I'm doing it. If not, then I can't do it. A lot of good conversation. The text line's still blowing up at this point. I'll get back to more of that coming up straight ahead. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Charlie User producing, other side of the glass. If you missed the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show, don't forget, it was a good one yesterday, right? Tim Allen, Tommy Wirtz going crazy. Bryce Terang hits that home run. Just simply go back to wisportsradio.com. You can listen to it there, best Brewers coverage, or you can just go wherever you have your podcast that you like to listen to, Spotify, Apple, whatever it may be, and you can find it that way as well. Coming up at 3 o'clock, we'll talk with Tim Dillard, Brewers TV analyst. Looking forward to that. Nikolai Law talking text line 414. If Giannis gets traded, I believe Miami is a likely destination. Pat Riley will be aggressive this offseason as he looks for someone to pair with Bam Adebayo. And again, remember, Bam Adebayo and Giannis have the same agent. However, that also means that you get stuck taking back Tyler Hero at that point, too. Now, I think Tyler Hero is an expiring, if my memory serves correct. So if that's correct, then you're free of that deal after 1 year, and you're essentially taking it back for, ticket sales, hometown kid, people will come. But then you can be rid of that and go on from there, Charlie.
Yeah, 1 year, $33 million deal. Tyler Hero is not bad. Why do people pretend like he's a bad basketball player? He's been a part of why the Heat have been able to stay competitive over the past few years, despite not having a superstar in that squad. Like, they've been able to do this with him as that number 2 and as the number 1 scorer most of the time, besides Bam's 83-point game.
I'm going to try and help everybody understand where I'm at. If Giannis is gone, they've got to find a true 1 and a true 2. And I don't think Tyler Hero is a 2 on a championship team. I could be wrong. Maybe he'll end up being a 2 on a championship team. He's definitely not going to be 1. So from that perspective, if Tyler Hero is my 3rd guy, I feel good about that. Okay, all right. I'm good if he's my number 3 guy, right? If it's Giannis, Lillard, and Hero, okay, that would have been fine. But not any other way, and not for that much money. So, again, that's just my take. Some of you I know love Tyler Hero, local kid. That's fine. Tim Dillard coming up next. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll talk to Tim Dillard about maybe his most memorable moment as a baseball player, but similar to Bryce's Terang's walk-off homer on Mother's Day. Coming up. All right, time for your fan weather forecast brought to you by Integrity Exteriors. 52 degrees and sunny skies, looking like sunny and clear skies for the remainder of today. However, a low of 37 degrees. Yes, it's May, and the low is 37.
Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
You know, there are reasons why I love working with Charlie. There are so many reasons why I love working with Charlie. Part of the reason I love working with my guy Charlie is because of the age difference. And it's fun because he looks at things from such a different perspective than I look at things, right? Mm-hmm. So we were in the break talking about, I don't even know how it came up, but I know how it came up. So we were talking about what we did for Mother's Day yesterday. And I was telling him that, yeah, we went out, we had dinner, blah, 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 blah. Then we went home and watched a Christmas movie. And Charlie's like, come on, man. It wasn't a Mother's Day movie or something you got to watch. I was like, no, man, the kids love watching Christmas movies. It was like from nothing like, it wasn't like White Christmas or anything. I was going
to say, are they like Christmas movies or are they just Christmas adjacent movies?
No, like the Hallmark Christmas movies, those type of movies, right? That's what we're talking about. So we went home. We went into the grocery store. Each guy snacked some candy, whatever else, sat down and watched it. So outside we were watching it. So all of a sudden, Charlie goes, oh, my girlfriend made me watch Mamma Mia or whatever else. So then we start talking about musicals and how he hates musicals. And he saw Les Mis. I was like, that's way too long. I've seen that too. I don't like Les Mis. It just takes forever, whatever. So then I told him Jersey Boys. Now that's a great music. That's Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I've seen the musical 4 times and I've seen the movie even probably more than that. Just love it to death, right? And what did you say?
Frankie Valli is currently like on stage in Vegas and he just stands there. They play his like music over him because he has some debt to owe to the casino that he's playing at.
You go watch the movie, you will understand.
I'm not going to go watch him stand on the stage like a statue, even if I watch the movie. I know, but even if I watch the movie, I'm not going to go watch him on stage. You said you would pay to watch him anytime.
Yeah, I would. Absolutely. Yeah. Providing he's singing. Now, if he's not singing, then no, I'm not going to go.
He's literally just standing there.
If he's standing there singing, then yes, I'm going to go watch him sing. Man, I saw Kenny Rogers, who was like my all-time favorite. He was like 80 something when we went and saw him. Loved him. Was he old? Yes. Could he barely walk? Yes. Did he sit on a stool or a chair most of the time? Yes. Did he sound just as good? Yes. I'm good. I don't need him dancing and jumping up and down and doing moves and all that. Just sing the songs I like, man. I don't care about the rest of it.
Yeah, but he was singing.
Not matter.
I don't think Frankie Valli is actually singing. I'm pretty sure there's playing the sound over.
No way.
What do you mean? You have to see
Frankie Valli. No, I'm Googling
Frankie Valli now. Like, do a performance now.
Frankie Valli still perform. Frankie Valli is 92 and actively performing and touring in 26.
And again, you have to watch one of the videos. I'll show you in the next break. He is not singing. He's standing there while like they play the song over him and people like dance around.
So you think he's lip syncing?
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't even call it that. He's not moving his lips.
Come on. No way.
We have to get to Tim Dillard. Stop talking about Frankie Valli.
Oh, he does look old.
Yeah.
But his lips are moving, I think. I can't tell. He does not look good, though. Kenny looked a lot better than that. Now, Kenny wasn't 92, but
right.
Oh man. I wonder if our guy Tim Dillard is a Frankie Valli or Kenny Rogers fan. I don't know. Let's find out.
He's a former Brewers pitcher. You can hear him on his podcast, Benches in Baseball. It's time to hear from FanDuel Sports Network Brewers analyst Tim Dillard as he joins Wisconsin Sports Daily on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
My guy Tim Dillard shaking his head. I'm not sure if that wasn't discussed that we were having that conversation. If that was a negative, like, no, I don't like either one. If that was, what is wrong with you, Sparky? I can't tell which of all of that was. Wearing a nice sailor's hat, however, today, looking nice little red and blue sailor's hat. Follow him on X right now. You can see it as we are streaming on X, Instagram, YouTube at WI Sports Radio. Tim Dillard, Frankie Valli, Kenny Rogers. Your thought?
Kenny Roster, his chicken. The chicken's great.
Those Kenny Rogers chicken places were good. They're all gone.
The Gambler. The Gambler, yes, I grew up on those movies, the song. I mean, he's a legend. Yeah, of course.
Frankie Valli?
I mean, I've never seen Jersey Boys. I know they have a movie. It's probably free and streaming.
It's awesome.
I'm just not a big film musical Broadway. I've been to a lot of Broadway plays, but if I have time, if I have 2 hours to myself, I don't think I'm thinking Broadway musical movie at any juncture. Sorry.
So Chicago, you haven't seen the movie Chicago either?
I mean, is that the one with Richard Gere?
Yeah. No.
Which was that? No, 20 years ago? No, I don't know. I can't remember. Probably not.
No, it's not Richard Gere, is it? Yes, it is Richard Gere. Yeah, you are right. Yes, it is Richard Gere. You're right. Yeah.
Right. So yes, I've not seen it in the last 20 years. Wow.
So what's your jam for movies then? What kind of movies are you watching?
I don't know. Usually I just kind of want to turn the brain off and watch a good movie. There's John Wick's in there. There's Lord of the Rings, some Star Wars.
Action.
Of course, yeah. Gladiator. But at the same time, I love a good rom-com. I really do. In the last month, I've probably seen 10 to 15 rom-coms. I don't know why. Sometimes you go through phases, and that's where I'm at sometimes.
Yeah. All right. See, we learned something about Tim Dillard today. Now, are you happy we did that, Charlie?
Sure.
See, we learned something about Tim Dillard. There you go. That's why you tune in to Wisconsin Sports Daily. You don't know what's going to happen. All right, Tim Dillard. This Bryce Durant thing yesterday, the symmetry with Bill Hall, the pink bat, the same number, Mother's Day, all of that fun stuff. Put all that aside. Bryce Durant is a bad dude, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care what day of the week it is, if it's Mother's Day or not Mother's Day or whatever. He is just a bad mama jamma right now at second base in Major League Baseball.
I mean, he's so consistent. Every single at bat is so consistent in the field, so consistent. I mean, he's the model of what every baseball player tries to be. Be good and consistent at every facet of the game. I'm sure the Brewers are like, why didn't we lock this guy up, last year? Why didn't we lock this guy up 2 years ago or 3 years ago? Not sure what it's going to look like going forward, but this guy is a baller. He's going to be all-stars to come. He's going to be gold gloves to continue. And who knows? There's a silver slugger in his future somewhere as well.
That's the thing. He's got 3 years left on his deal after this year. And we had people in the first segment call his agent and sign him now. It's too expensive. It's over. Like, there's just no way they can afford to sign Bryce Durant. First of all, there's 3 years left. Brewers aren't working that far ahead unless the kid's like 18 and Jackson Churio. They're not going to work that far ahead, I don't think. And even if they were at that price point, if you look at some of the top second basemen in that area, you're talking like $25 to $30 million a year in Milwaukee for the Brewers. I don't know if that's possible, Tim Dillard.
Well, I think the window is passed, unless it's like a friendly couple-year deal, and then still be young enough to sign that big deal after all that. But that kind of stuff is not my area of expertise. I don't really have an area of expertise. What I do enjoy is watching that guy play, and I enjoy watching him play for the Brewers. He's about as good as it gets in every facet. I love watching it. He never throws an at-bat away. You hear that a lot. You're like, oh, he throws, this guy never throws an at-bat away. What that means is every single at-bat, take the Pete Rose approach. Like, I don't care if it's 10 pitches, don't care. I'm not just going to give in and swing at something. Even if he gets caught and he strikes out or gets caught looking or whatever, he is still in the at-bat going, all right, what's coming next? Every hitter is going to get fooled, but he's a guy that when he gets fooled, he'll still foul a ball off and continue a really good at bat. If you have young kids out there that want to play baseball, watch this guy day in and day out. Just his at bats, they're spectacular.
He is Tim Dillard. Follow him on X at Dim Dillard, joining us each and every Monday, normally at 2:20. Moved it back a little bit today for 3 o'clock for our Let's Talk About the Crew segment. I want to get your thoughts not only on Bryce Terang, but I also want to get your thoughts on Jacob Mizorowski and that dude. That's another crazy thing going on right now. But before we do that, I wanted to ask you this. What's your most memorable moment as a baseball player in your life that you had? Not saying it's a walk-off on Mother's Day, I know. But whatever it may be, a big strikeout in a big moment, maybe back when you were hitting back in the day, a big walk-off or something crazy like that. You have that one moment etched in your brain where you're like, that was my best moment.
I mean, I hit a home run in AAA. That was pretty good.
Okay.
I got a win in the big leagues. We were in Florida. We were in Miami at the old football stadium. Didn't even know I got a win. The way it was structured, didn't even know it. Was just kind of like, oh, that's cool. Had no idea it was my first win. Didn't think much of it, but the entire clubhouse did. So
they kept the ball. They gave you a ball. Did you get a ball?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
But I mean, but even more than that, the teammates celebrated with me. They celebrated me as if this was the first win for everybody. You know, like this was like we had won the World Series. I thought that was so cool just because it was my teammates. And then in 2019, I threw a complete game in AAA, and the last time I'd thrown a complete game was 10 years before that. So that was a big moment. And again, it centered around my teammates, celebrating in those moments. So I would say if you ask most players when it comes to their favorite moment, it always is going to have their teammates involved in it.
That's awesome stuff. All right, let's talk about Mizorowski because Aaron Judge comes out with his quotes after the game, and the Brewers now are all over this on social media. Like every 60 minutes, they're tweeting out the quote from Aaron Judge, as they should, because Mizorowski, I said this earlier, I don't know if you agree or not. I feel like every time he goes out there right now, you feel like, oh, you might see a no-hitter today. It feels like almost every time he goes out there that you have a chance to see something crazy special.
I mean, I think we knew that the first day he got called up. You just knew the guy was special. He was as advertised. The way they cover the minor leagues now, like nobody's slipping through the cracks where it's like, where'd this guy come from? No, right. Mizorowski was on the radar. They knew how good he was. Then it's like, well, can he do this in the big leagues? Now you find out that every time out, this guy can do something special. He is, again, being consistent. But I go back to last year. He had a game in Pittsburgh where he kind of scuffled and then went in, I think, between the third and the fourth inning. Something happened. I'm not sure. I alluded to Chris Hook at the time, and Chris Hook just didn't tell me what went on. But a switch was flipped, and he came back out, and it was one of the best games I'd ever seen pitch. Now this year, he's had 2 of those in a row, where it's that same mentality, where it's, here, hit it. Oh, you can't hit it? Here, hit it. Oh, you can't hit it? And not trying to set guys up. I think he's realizing I can get guys out on 3 pitches rather than I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then I'm going to try to do this, this, and this, and 5 pitches go by and 6 pitches. So not only was he good, now he's figuring out how to be more economical with pitches. And that's a scary moment for hitters when they are like, I have 1, maybe 2 pitches to put in play right here, and it's going to be between 100 and 103 miles an hour. That's tough because it's not going to get better as the at-bat goes on a lot of times. But what I've seen is what's different between him and every other guy that throws 100 right now is that his does not look max effort. It doesn't look like a strenuous delivery. He's not grip it, throw it as hard as I can. He is smooth. Back in the day, we used to call it let the river flow. Just kind of sync everything up in balance and then just let it come out of your hand. And to me right now, that's what his mechanics are. And some of these guys that are throwing 100 are like absolutely tense, and they're using every amount of energy to throw it that hard. And I think right now it's pretty effortless on his part.
Then you have the potential for an immaculate inning to start off the game to begin with. But that's the other thing is going back to game planning and how you're going to attack guys. Those first 8 pitches, if memory serves correct, were all fastballs. He wasn't messing around with anything. It's here, like you said, here you go. Oh, you can't hit it. Here, try again. Here, try again. That was insane. And then as the game goes, it's something that like Aaron Judge brought up as well, is that slider is crazy. Like that slider is moving 96, 97 miles an hour. And then you drop a curveball on top of that. And that is a deadly 3 pitches that people are having problems dealing with.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having a pitch that nobody can hit. If it's fastball and nobody can hit it, they're not getting good swings on it, keep throwing it. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think early in his career, he thought, okay, I'm going to work ahead, and then my strikeout pitch is going to be the slider. Or I'm going to work ahead with slider, and then I'm going to go fastball up away. Like trying to set a hitter up. He didn't have to do that, and he proved it against a really good offense in the Yankees. And honestly, I think he would have had the immaculate inning if he got back in 0-2 against Judge, and Judge called time. Right? Like got in the box and called time. I think that threw him off a little bit. That's why he cut that fastball down and away for a ball. But yeah, 10 pitches. He got 3 outs, all fastballs against the Yankees, and didn't let up after that. I mean, right now you got to tune in. It's must-see TV.
It is absolutely must-see TV. Tim Dillard's must-see TV too. Check him out on X at Dim Dillard, Brewers TV analyst. Joins us each and every Monday. Tim, thanks so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Take care. There he goes. Tim Dillard joining us here on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That is all. Do y'all realize how great this dude is? I mean, if you're older, you've seen Ben Sheets. Really, really, really good, right? Maybe if you're older, you saw Teddy Higuera. Really, really, really good. For sure. And then just recently, if you're not as old as those two, you saw Corbin Burns. Yeah, pretty damn good. You saw Woodruff when he was gone before he got hurt. He is pretty good too. CC Sabathia for a half a year. That dude was like immortal for a half a season. He just won in the Wall of Honor. So you've seen really, really good pitchers. I'm here to tell you, this cat may be better than all of them by the time this thing is said and done, Trey. He may be better than all of them.
I mean, he looks like it. Like you mentioned a bunch of guys I've seen. I've seen Giovanni Gallardo come in here and have a really good career with the Milwaukee Brewers. A lot of great pitchers that have had their moments, and it just feels like every time he goes out there, he's surpassing all those moments. Like even if he's not, it feels like you're watching the greatest show on the mound every single time. It would just be nice if he's could get under 100 pitches through 6 innings. Like, could he get through that 6? Could he get through that 7? Like we talked about, to get to that no-hitter territory without blowing his arm out by throwing 120 pitches.
That's the one thing that you bring up that I don't really like talking about, is that arm care and, taking care of it and doing everything that you have to do. Like, for instance, Wembanyama, who we'll get to in the 3:00 hour, or get to coming up next year at 3:20. I mean, that dude, when he came into the NBA, they did a whole segment on his trainer and him doing all these weird, and I mean weird, stretching exercises and all this stuff. And you're looking, what are you doing, man? But it works for him, and it's kept him healthy this entire time, and it's all went fine for him. So you're going to continue to do whatever you have to do. All I'm saying is, if you're the Brewers, the pressure is on your shoulders to keep that kid's shoulder and elbow and everything perfectly fine going forward.
Well, and similarly, the Pittsburgh Pirates and Paul Skeens, that was the same exact thing. He had a bunch of weird workouts that he was doing. He's been able to stay pretty damn healthy for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay, take a quick time out. Come back on the other side. We're talking about Victor Wembanyama and what happened yesterday in that Spurs playoff game. I've heard others on this network talk about it. I may be a little bit different than some of everybody else that I've heard and seen so far, because my initial reaction when that happened was not what everybody else's initial reaction was. So clearly, yet again, I'm on an island. I'll tell you more about that coming up next. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Wendy's invited the iconic spicy chicken sandwich. Wendy's new spicy chicken sandwich is crispier and more flavor-packed than ever. And the breading, even crispier. Flavor inside, loud outside. 9 peppers and spices. Give it that bold, layered heat. Wendy's spicy chicken. Order in the Wendy's app today. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Favre with you. Charlie User producing. Thanks for tuning in here on a Monday. Thanks for listening to the Fox Valley, Green Bay, Appleton on WNFL. Thanks for listening to the game in Wausau and Duluth and Superior. The Fan in Milwaukee and southeastern Wisconsin. Do appreciate you. A good mood today. It was a fun weekend, even though I froze in the wind at my kids' games for 2 days.
Fine.
It was
fine.
It
probably wasn't even that cold. Sparky's just gets cold everywhere.
Man, I'm telling you, man, there were blankets out. Dudes came back wearing winter gloves yesterday. It was so freaking cold. It was absolutely insane. I've been to a lot of baseball games, professional and otherwise. The wind never stopped on Saturday for like 6 hours. It just never stopped. It was insane. Completely insane. All right, real quickly, before we get to this Wemby situation, get one more in here on Mizorowski. Al in Cedarburg, you're next on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. What's up, Al?
What's going on, Sparky? Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
So I'm loving all this talk about Miz. I don't think it's overhyped either. I'm 38. In my lifetime, this is probably the most dominant start to a Brewers pitcher that I've ever seen. I'm not counting CC.
Right.
I mean, and I'm a nerd because I love looking at all the advanced metrics. His contact suppression is insane. It's like on historical ranks up there with like Strasburg and Skeens when you look at what he's doing to batters at the plate. But what I did want to say though is, and this is where I'm going to sound old, is Ben Sheets' hype coming to the Brewers was unbelievable.
He had a gold medal with Team USA. That helped it.
Damn it, you just took it, Sparky. That his Olympic hype that he came coming out of that 2004 Olympics was off the charts. And then for that 2004 season, I mean, my God, we were so bad offensively. The fact that he was still able to get to 12-14, and he had under one, I think he had under a 1 whip too, if I'm not mistaken. And it had like 260 strikeouts to like 30 walks. Like Ben Sheets was a phenom, and I really wish he never would have gotten a damn blister on his finger, because who would have known what happened with him and CC in 2008.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Ben Sheets struck out 18 guys in a game in 2004.
I was there against the Braves.
Correct. Do you think the Mizorowski will match it or top it at some point in a Brewers uniform?
No, he won't. He won't. I think, and that's simply because of the amount of innings he'll pitch.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just don't think he does. But I don't think we'll see that again if we're in a Brewers uniform.
It was absolutely insane. Thanks so much for the call. Yeah, Sheets struck out 5 consecutive hitters at one point and struck out of the final 9 outs, struck out 8 of the final 9 to end that game.
I mean, Jacob Mizorowski is currently leading the league in strikeouts, and I think he's about like 10 innings less than the next closest guy behind him.
Right, and look at the pitches. Sheets threw 116 pitches in that game.
Yeah.
91 of the 116 were strikes.
I think if the Brewers, like Mizorowski, again, has been getting to about 100 pitches right around the 6th inning every single start that he's had. If he's on a roll, if he's throwing a no-hitter and they feel like he can get to that point, they'll let him get to 116 pitches, and I think he can throw 18 strikeouts in that 116.
Sheets' 18 strikeout game was one of only 4 instances since 2000 where a pitcher has recorded 18 or more strikeouts in a game, joining Randy Johnson, Corey Kluber, and Max Scherzer.
That's a pretty impressive group. I don't know. I can see Miz being a part of that group.
That is. Yeah, absolutely. I think I could too. Yeah. Just crazy. If you think about people that don't remember Ben Sheets or aren't old enough to see Ben Sheets, that dude was really, really good as well.
His second All-Star season, because his first one was his rookie year, he had a 7.2 overall WAR for the Brewers that year. That's insane.
7.2?
Yeah.
In a single season?
In a single season.
Holy goodness.
Yeah. He had a 2.7 ERA, 264 strikeouts, finished 8th in the Cy Young voting. 8.25 strikeouts to walk ratio.
That is wild. All right. Victor Wembanyama yesterday playing against the T-Wolves. They were up, 2-1 in that series, in that game. And we're early in the first half, second quarter going on, and this all went down.
Bryant off on the 3. Wembanyama.
Goodness.
It goes to rebound.
Oh, that's an elbow. That's going to be an elbow by Victor.
And we got a
Easy.
tie
Here
up
we go.
with Daniels. Nas Reed was the guy who took the elbow. Everybody stays on their respective benches. Officials in quickly to separate. And now they will figure out where the call goes. Well, to me, it looked like that was a clear elbow by Victor on the rebound. He had got it cleanly, and you saw Minnesota trying to steal the basketball from him. But here comes the call.
After review, there is wind-up, impact, and follow-through above the neck of an opponent. It is unnecessary and excessive, the contact by Wembanyama. It meets all the criteria and has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty 2. Wembanyama's been ejected.
What does that mean? He just said, I'm ejected. He read his lips as he was talking to Harrison Barnes. What does that mean? So Wembanyama is out of this game.
Out of the game, indeed he was. There's a part of there that Charlie edited together where they show the replay on the Jumbotron at Minnesota, and the entire stadium goes, oh! First of all, Naz Reid isn't a dude. He's a big dude. So most of the time, dudes don't mess with Naz Reid normally. That elbow, boom, dropped him to the floor. And when he got up, I think when I look at it, it looked like a little jelly leg, like kind of like, okay, just back it up. Like
he was leaning against the basket because he'd get some balance.
But when he got up, it wasn't like he got up and wanted to go at Wembanyama. Like, I'm going to go fight this dude. What are you doing? He wasn't doing that. He wanted nothing to do with Wembanyama. Now, Wembanyama gets kicked out of the game, comes out today, no suspension, right? So he gets to play in game 5. People are furious, right? Because especially Bucks fans, I remember Scott Williams getting suspended for a game wasn't anywhere close to that nonsense. What Wembanyama did back then, Stu Jackson, the screw job by Stu, back in the day to the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals with Glenn, Ray, Sam, all that stuff. My question is this. I don't even know we even really have time to take many calls, but do you think Webby did the right thing? Do you think Wembanyama did the right thing throwing that elbow against Naz Reid? Literally, like, took his elbow, came in front of his chest. That's how much he wound it up, and then whoop, boom, and nailed him square right there and was looking right at him, had this mean mug going, bop. And you see Dylan Harper in the background, like, like mouth dropped open, because I promise you, nobody on that Spurs bench thought he was capable of that. Harper didn't think he was capable of that. And I promise you, Naz Reid, not in a million years, thought Wembanyama would ever do that to him. Now, the question is, was it the right thing for Wembanyama to do? Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Now, you know, if I'm asking this question, you know I'm not going to say, no, it was a horrible decision. If I'm asking this question, that means I support it 1,000,000%. I support it so much that if I was the Spurs, I'd pay his fine. I would. Now, you go up there and do it in game 5. Okay, now we got to talk. Okay, you got problems. We come here and talk. But at some point, he had to do this. Now, whether it's in a regular season game or whatever, he had to do this. He's a long, skinny cat that goes up and down the floor, dribbling, passing, shooting, dunking, blocking shots, assists. Can't stop him. Can't stop him. So what do people try to do? They try to do to him what they do to Giannis and Shaq, right? We're going to hack at him. We're going to do all this stuff. But at some point, you have to understand what you're dealing with, right? Giannis learned quick. Early on, he was small, right? As far as physical. Wasn't that big muscular-wise. And then he put everything he had into building muscle so they couldn't do that to him anymore. Now put it on your shoulder and go through it. Or if you're the Bulls and you're Mike Dunleavy and you're in the corner, Giannis just form tackles you into the front row and takes you out. When that type of stuff happens, that kind of is like, okay, this dude's, he may not put up with it. Now, to Giannis, he had Larry Sanders crazy over there behind him. Like, dude, you got to give me the meme mug. Like, you got to do this. I still say that was all Larry Sanders. But that, he had that. Wembanyama doesn't have an enforcer in San Antonio right now. Harrison Barnes is almost a senior citizen. So it ain't him. He don't have an enforcer. Giannis at least had Larry Sanders early on to help him if there was any problems. And everybody knew Larry was crazy. They ain't going to mess with him. So Wembanyama's got to be his own enforcer. Wembanyama doing that yesterday sets the tone going forward. Like, you mess with me, I'm going to do something. I may not do something that day, but eventually I'm going to get you. That changes how everybody looks at this kid now going forward. No longer we're going to punk him and push him around because he doesn't know how to handle it and he ain't going to do nothing. Not anymore. That's it. Game over. He just set a new tone. It was brilliant.
Well, and I think the NBA, the kind of grander scheme of this, they're really excited about this too. They don't want to say that. They won't say that because he threw an elbow at a guy's head, and that's kind of scary. But this is giving Victor Wembanyama, because Naz Reid is so loved in Minnesota.
Yep.
I'm surprised the team didn't run off the floor to go and just jump on Wemby in that moment. But for this, in this next game, they're going to be on him. They're going to try to instigate him the same way that they were doing in these first couple of games. And the NBA looks at that and says, the face of our league now has a rival. The face of our league now has an enemy that we have here, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are perfect for that. People really like the Timberwolves too. It feels like the Pistons and Jordan, even though Wemby hasn't won that championship yet, it's getting to that spot where now he's starting to get that recognition, not just from the fans, but from the teams in the league that want to tear him down too.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. And again, you don't have to throw another elbow to get your point across. You don't. Do you know what he had? If they start messing with him again, all he's got to do is next time Anthony Edwards goes up, go up strong, come over the top of him, put him into the pole behind the basket. You're not gonna get kicked out for it. He was going for the ball. Hey, you can't make it obvious. You can throw another elbow, but if things get wacky again, just be physical. Somebody goes over the ball, put him in the post. You have to be able to stand up for yourself if you're Wembanyama. And again, I'm not a Spurs fan or a Wemby fan, but dude, you got to stand up for yourself. Even if you're a parent, you can't allow somebody to push around your kid forever before you allow them to do something back. Jim in New Berlin, you're next on Wisconsin Sports Daily with me, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. What's up, Jim?
Hi. Well, I want to point something out about the hit, which I watched on replay several times.
Me too.
He hit him in the throat. He didn't hit him in the head. He hit him in the throat. He could have seriously injured or killed him. It was completely uncalled for. That was, he's lucky the guy's okay.
So you thought it was a bad move?
Oh, horrible. He's lucky the guy's not seriously injured or dead. He hit him in the throat, in the front of his throat.
I'll have to go back and look. Thanks for the call, Jim. I thought he hit him in the jaw. That's where I thought he hit him.
So I have to go back, look at I don't know, I don't think it's going to change any kind of reputation for Wemby. It's not like who was it? Was it Meta World Peace that hit James Harden in the side of the head with an elbow? That was
totally different.
And that
he hits a shot, a dunk or whatever. He turns around running up court, and as he's running by Harden, he throws a huge elbow to the side of Harden's head, which he did not get clean either. I think he hit his shoulder before he hit his head. But either way, that wasn't like battling for a ball or anything.
He does kind of hit him right in the side.
On the side of the throat, yeah. Either way. All I'm saying is he had to do something at some point. Now, you can argue about where the elbow should have been targeted, but if you throw the elbow in his chest, that does absolutely nothing. Nothing happens.
Well, and even so, the other defender for the Wolves is coming in on his left side trying to take the ball over his shoulder, even though the play's dead at this point. And I think more so he's trying to just move away from that guy kind of in an aggressive moment as Naz Reid walks into the hit. Now, I don't know if he was really caring about whether or not Naz Reid was going to be there, and that's why he threw such an aggressive elbow. But at the same time, it doesn't look like the Meta World Peace aiming for James Harden's temple.
414, how is Wemby not suspended? Clear intent, any other flagrant 2 action, and the player is going to miss at least 1 game. I don't disagree with you. Yeah, fine. But he's not. I mean, I'm sure if I'm a T-Wolves fan, I'm livid, screaming, what the heck? Man. We have a superstar in Anthony Edwards. Fine, but are you going to defend Edwards in the same spot, or would we have lost Anthony Edwards? Again, but these are superstar rules of the NBA. This has been going on for 100 years, man. This isn't something new, regardless if it's Silver or if it was David Stern. It's the same type of deal that we've been dealing with.
Adam Silver and the NBA are licking their lips at this. They love this. They've been looking for this. Everybody's been talking about who's the face of the NBA. This is another step towards that, and they're not going to say it, but they're going to endorse stuff like this.
From the 414, I'm not as outraged about Wemby's elbow as others. Reid was leaning right up against him with his face on Wemby's shoulder. Another one from the 414, it's Bush League, wherever you play. Sure. I'm not saying it wasn't Bush League. I don't disagree with you. I'm saying going forward, if they're playing to win a championship, and for him specifically, if he wants calls, he's going to have to either A, take matters into his own hands and do something, which he decided, or B, continuously getting your butt kicked, getting nothing called, and just dealing with it going forward, and potentially costing yourself a chance at a world title. Not a world title, an NBA title.
Exactly. And I think that, I don't know, it's worth it to some degree to, again, further your legacy potentially at this point. And in the long run, get these refs to pay more attention to you. Whether it's a bad thing or a good thing, they're going to be watching you and they're going to see fouls more on you too.
If they would have suspended Wemby for a game, I would have been fine with that too. Okay, so you're down 3-2 when Wemby comes back. I don't think the Spurs could have argued against a suspension. I don't think Wemby could have argued against a suspension.
He wasn't mad about getting thrown out of the game. He just didn't know what it meant.
Dude, he was high-fiving dudes, walking out. Like, there was nobody like, oh, putting your head down. Well, like, I can't believe I got kicked out. He was all about it. Like, good. I had to do that. Like, deal with it.
And I'm sure that got the team going too. That's the
not enough because they lost.
Well, yes, but I think coming into this game, if he were to have been thrown out of this game or even after the game, the guys look at him a little bit differently, probably.
Oh, yes. The entire league looks at him differently right now. No doubt. It changes how you view Wembanyama going forward. Now you're going to think twice before you decide to go mess with Wembanyama. You're going to think hard. Am I going to go at him? Or is it going to be now we're all going at him to see if we can get him to lose his cool again? And as I stated,
Jordan rules.
Right. And as I stated earlier, you can't throw another elbow. Something goes up to the rim and you put him on their back. That's fine because you can just say, I'm going for the ball. I didn't punch him in the face. I didn't elbow anybody. I'm going for the ball. It's not my fault. You ended up in the post. Like, hey, what are you going to do? Momentum. I can't do anything about that. I can't do that. But he can't just continue to get bullied against every team he plays. Coming up next, Charlie's Sounds of the Day. And I am looking forward to hearing what he's got cooked up for today. Step up to the plate, take a shot at winning major prizes in the $300,000 Big League Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. April through June, you can win a share of $300,000 in prizes. All monthly promo entries count towards the grand finale drawings on June 26th. Get triple the entries during Brewers home games and score one of 3 all-new Toyota vehicles. More info online. Must be 21 and rewards member to play. Only at Potawatomi. Don't forget they got those shuttles to and from Brewers home games as well right there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Got to have make a purchase $5 or more. Ask for your bracelet when you do it, and you can take that shuttle. Don't got to pay $20, $25 for parking. Get it free right there at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Park in their parking garage. You're protected from the elements, the whole deal. Maybe bet on the team to win before you head down there. When you come back, cash your ticket because they win. Hop in your car and go home. Not lose it. You can't lose, right?
Can't lose.
Well, I guess if Brewers lose, you kind of lose.
Well, yeah, but
either way, you're still
take
ahead.
A shuttle to the game.
Right,
you can maybe put down
wager, and you still win because you're still saving $15.
Adult beverages, and then the loss doesn't feel as bad.
Exactly. Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here.
What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky? Will Sparky become enraged? Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, here we are. Time for Charlie's Sounds of the Day. Where to first, Charlie?
All right, first up, we're going to head on over to the San Francisco Giants after getting blown out this past weekend. Manager Tony Vitello said this about the fans booing the team.
When things kind of get rough like they did tonight and fans start to boo and just kind of get into it in that form, I guess just what side of the spectrum are you on in terms of, do you understand and accept that when something like that happens, or is it maybe something you don't prefer when something like that happens?
Well, what would you do if we, they paid for their ticket, or they, at the very least, even if it was free, they chose this over everything. I mean, there's 85 million shows you can watch on Netflix or every other deal there is, or in this city. I haven't gone out much, but anytime I have, there's a lot going on. So, and then also, I kind of grew up in a weird situation. I never had one team that, was deeply rooted in my family and passed down. I've seen it in college and in pro sports, but I don't know. I kind of had a little different deal going on. So whether it's you paid for your ticket or you just chose to do this, over other options, or maybe your walls are painted orange and black and this is the team your whole family for generations has supported, you got a lot invested, so you want something in return. At the very least, a good effort, maybe execution here and there. So now, would also like in turn, it's almost like a teammate thing, which sounds silly. In turn, realize that there's some big boys in their lineup, and it's a challenging game. You're not going to be perfect all the time, and might be some things you wish you could redo, and a play you might, kind of sit on a different pitch, whatever it might be. But I think it got to the point where it wasn't an acceptable effort. So they probably did what you or I would maybe do.
Can I just say, you could not have given a better answer than he gave right there. I saw that last night. So I was like, I wonder what the comments look like from Giants fan. Man, every Giants fan. Man, I wish they'd give him more to work with. It ain't his fault these guys suck. Blah, blah, blah. Love this guy. That's just the thing. Like, at the end of the day, nobody's like, oh, it's your fault Adames sucks. Nobody's blaming him for Willie Adames. That's not his fault. The guy that's catching heat out there is Buster Posey for putting this whole thing together. And even from that standpoint, Buster Posey was trying to do the right thing. Now, did the Rafael Devers thing work out? No, it hasn't worked out. Has Willie Adames worked out? No, it hasn't worked out. Are they starting to show the white flag by trading their catcher over the weekend? Yeah, they're probably starting to throw the white flag up. Could Adames and Devers get moved too at some point? Yeah, probably. Could potentially happen. I don't know who the heck is going to want Willie Adames at that number they're paying him. Devers, maybe you could fool somebody into taking and convincing them that maybe a change of scenery gets him going again. But I just loved it. And as a fan, you hear that, you're like, okay, dude gets it. Like, he understands. He gets it. And he himself even said he never really had a team because of where he grew up. He never really had a diehard team. But when he says, hey, man, I'm sure somebody's got their walls painted black and orange because we mean everything to them. And they're upset because we show lack of effort. Like, I get it. It makes sense. That's great. I mean, that's the most understanding manager-coach response I think I've ever heard anybody getting booed. And again, they lost 13-3. They got drilled. All right, what's next?
Next up, we're going to head on over to the Athletic Football Show, where Robert Mays was discussing what went wrong for the Packers last season.
There were elements of who the Packers had been in the 2024 season that I thought would give them a certain floor and would just carry over. They were 6th in points allowed in 2024. They were 4th in EPA per play. And then they added Micah Parsons. And so my thought was these elements that where we know what the floor is, if Jordan Love can be healthier and Micah Parsons comes in, does that what eventually raises the Packers ceiling? And I think those things that made up the floor, those elements of who we expected them to be, that were just kind of these consistent, reliable elements of the Packers, that those didn't come through.
That's correct. Those did not come through. And we'll talk more about the Green Bay Packers with former Packers offensive lineman Mike Wahle. He will join us coming up next for our green and gold update. It's been a minute since we've talked to Mike Wahle. We haven't talked to Mike Wahle, I don't believe, about much of anything to this point with the Packers offseason. What needs do they still have? His thoughts on McManus being done. His thoughts on Tyrod Taylor coming in to back up Jordan Love. Straight ahead, Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you.
Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Welcome in. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are streaming live on X, on YouTube, on Instagram Live, on the Fan Facebook page as well, Fan Milwaukee Facebook page. Of course, you can follow us on all the other social medias at WI Sports Radio. It is 4 o'clock. Let's go.
It's time for your green and gold update on Wisconsin Sports Daily, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
There he is. It's been too long. Our guy, Mike Wahle, ready to rock and roll. Follow him on X at Mike Wahle 68. Good afternoon, Mike. How are you?
I'm good, Sparky. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. Earlier, we had Tim Dillard on, Brewers analyst, former Brewers pitcher, and we were talking about this earlier in the show. Were you ever a fan of a Kenny Rogers or a Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons?
Nah, I can't say that I was. I mean, I know who they are, but yeah, fan would be a strong word.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers, man. That was my guy. This all came back to because my producer Charlie.
Kenny Rogers,
the Gambler. Yes, exactly.
Right. Who doesn't?
So I saw him perform live twice in like his 80s, and he couldn't walk on that. Well, he sat there, but he could sing. Like all the songs were on the money. Like everything was really good. So we were talking, Charlie and I, and he's like, yeah, Frankie Valli is still performing, and he just stands there. He must be lip syncing. There's no way his lips barely move. I was like, get out of here.
You gotta wheel him on stage.
Exactly.
He doesn't even look real. I looked it up, and Charlie found the video. He's like 94 in Vegas doing show. Yes, that's how his eyes look. How big your eyes are, and his eyes don't blink, Mike. They don't blink. They're like... And you're like, oh my God, look it up, Google it. It's the most bizarre thing. I don't know why anybody, I don't know why people would pay money to go watch that. He can barely move. Okay. Mike Wahle, let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. Cause again, we haven't talked in a minute here. I think it's positive. The aspect of bringing Tyrod Taylor in here because A, he's a good teammate by all accounts. And B, I don't think Jordan Love knows everything necessarily. And I think Tyrod Taylor can kind of be an extension of the coaches too.
I certainly think that he's been around for a long time. He's played for a couple different clubs, and there's been eras in his career where he's played some really good football. I always like to have a veteran backup. I mean, Malik Willis did such a good job. Obviously, earned the contract that he got, and we wish the best for him. But I think it's always nice. And Jordan Love's still a young quarterback. I think it's always nice to have a veteran guy in there that can really, when you have an established guy but they're young, to have somebody you can bounce ideas off of, and they have like real valuable, experienced answers, nuanced answers. I think you just don't get the same contextual information from coaches that you do from a lot of players. And so if you've got a guy that's got that experience, it's only going to help Jordan Love.
I mean, you've been on the sidelines. I know you're an offensive lineman, but you see it all the time watching it on TV, or if you're at the game, they come, they sit down, the quarterback sits down, and the backups are around them. The quarterback's coach is sitting next to him, and everybody, I'm sure, is adding their input as to what they're seeing and what just happened on the field. When you have a vet like that, with all due respect to Desmond Ridder or whoever else may have ended up being his backup, that's a huge deal for Jordan Love.
And you're on the sidelines, Sparky, and you see the coach doing this with his
right.
And then what happens? The next thing they do is they walk over and they start talking to the quarterback. So they go like this, because they're talking about, okay, this is actually what I'm seeing. Quarterback view. This guy's coming down. Here's where his knee bend is, or here's where the guy's foot position was. Remember, we talked about that in meetings. So it's, again, context matters when you're really shooting live bullets, and those guys probably get as much, if not more, information from that veteran quarterback, that backup quarterback, than they would from their coaching staff.
Time with Mike Wahle, a former Packers offensive lineman. Follow him on X at Mike Wahle 68, joining us here on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you. So that's one guy that I wanted to talk about, Tyrod Taylor. The other part about this is Cutting McManus last week, before you even see this dude kick. Now, I know you traded 2 7s to get up into the 6th to get the kicker. First of all, I was against Cutting McManus to begin with. He kicked 13 in a row. I know he sucked in the playoff game. I understand. I get all that. If the kid comes in and beats him out, fine. Mm-hmm. But to just roll out there and go, here you go, we're moving on. I'm going to be media guy Mike Wahle, all right? And I'm going to say there has to be more going on behind the scenes. Either there was a personality conflict or something with him and the coaches or something else going on that we're not aware of to just cut clean after Goody struggled to find a kicker prior to McManus. If McManus isn't on the street that year, you would still be having the same conversations of not finding a kicker.
You don't ever know what's going on behind the scenes. You make a great point, Sparky. But the other side of that coin is sometimes in certain positions, this is one of them. If you struggle in the playoffs, like that marks you for a long time. And does the Green Bay Packers organization want to be the team that waits and sees if this guy can show up next time when it matters in the playoffs? And I think the easiest answer is that Goody said, nah, I'd rather not do that. I'll give somebody else a chance. And that's a totally believable scenario to me.
But it's a kicker. With all due respect to everybody else on the roster, that's the one position. And again, people didn't probably realize it. I didn't. I'll tell you right now, I was anti-Crosby there for a minute. I was like, okay, that's enough. I've seen enough. Let's just go. They stuck with him, and he got right back to where he was. He had a bad season or whatever it was, and he was fine, and they showed his faith in him. And now you fast forward to this current crew. Now, this is not Ted Thompson, obviously, but this is one of his guys in Gutekunst. And you just move, but you move for a guy that has never kicked in an NFL game, in an NFL stadium, with NFL guys coming at him or anything of the sort. Yes, he has a strong leg, and as a special teams coach, Acorn says he kicks it straight, which he likes as well. That's a lot to put out there. You know, we've done this before with Carlson, and that didn't work out so well.
Well, like I was looking at Ryan Longwell there. I played with John Casey down in Carolina. Lindo Mari, like when you got a guy, the demeanor, the guy, the way he walks around the building, the way he carries himself, sometimes you just know. And again, we're not in the building. We didn't have those interactions, so we don't know. We're only speculating, but it's very, very possible that during that time, he might have presented himself in a way that made them double think about or think twice about maybe he just doesn't have that demeanor. And again, I hate to speculate there because I really don't know, but I have been around the guys who have it. And when they have it, everybody in the building knows, and there's no lack of confidence despite them missing 1 or 2 field goals.
Here's a real easy question for you. How much does personality get you an extra year sometimes on a roster if people like you and like you in the locker room and what you bring and the intangibles, even though you may not be doing great on the field, but everything else maybe gets you that extra year, that one more try with a roster?
Well, I'll tell you, there's 2 sides of it. When you're a veteran, it can get you an extra year. You know, Tyrod Taylor, that kind of guy you're bringing in because he has those characteristics. And, you know, I know in my career, in Seattle, they knew I couldn't play anymore. And they're, hey, we'll pay you. We just want you here. I turned it down because I'm an idiot. I don't want to play anymore. but they hey, listen, we know you're probably not going to be able to go. You're hurt. Your shoulder's
You had that
out.
shoulder injury, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I had double surgeries, couldn't play anymore. I can't even move my shoulder now. But they're like, hey, you're a good locker room guy. You're a leader. We want you here. On the flip side of that, and bringing it back to the kickers, and I told this story on another show, we had a guy come in from San Diego State, an offensive lineman, that Ryan Longwell was sitting at lunch with us during training camp, and he came down, and this guy had the balls to say, hey, kickers don't sit at the O-line table. And Ryan's our guy. And that dude, I'll just make it simple, like that dude didn't last 2 weeks. He did not last 2 weeks in the NFL. He was gone within 2 weeks because he was not going to be in our room. So it goes both ways for sure. I think more guys talk themselves out of being in the locker room than stay in.
Mike Wahle joins us, former Packers offensive lineman, here during our Green and Gold update segment. We do it each and every day here on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Follow Mike on X, Mike Wahle 68. All right, let's talk about the draft because you and I really haven't talked about the draft. I caught a lot of flack from people that were mad at me because I wasn't, hipping and hooraying for what happened. And my only point is because I'm hearing everybody in front of me here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, and we're talking about guys starting and making impacts and all that. And I look at this draft class and I go, I don't know. Like the kicker very well is going to have the biggest impact of everybody their first year. more than likely, these other guys may eventually be something in a couple of years. I just don't know if they're ready to go be that somebody now. Clearly, Goody was filling needs in this draft. That seems pretty clear as day by how he drafted. What was your thoughts on the draft class?
Yeah, I probably feel the same way you do. And, I don't spend too much time on the draft, but kind of going over the picks as they're happening and then doing a little bit of research and just looking at the makeup of the team. Obviously lost some key free agents, and I think that's going to help guys that are already on the team more now. And obviously bringing in Zaire is going to, be a big fill at linebacker, losing Quay. But when you start talking about, okay, we bring in a quarterback, we've got 2 starters. Now, Valentine didn't play that well last year. There's certainly an opportunity to play. If you're going to play anywhere on the defense early on, it's probably going to be a cornerback, right? They can kind of fill you out there, and there's not too many coverages you have to learn that are different from what you did in college. So maybe that happens. But then you start looking at these other, you got nose tackle, you got, I think you got an edge player, you've got a center/guard coming out of Kentucky. Those spots, maybe they get, certain those defensive guys are going to get snaps. Now, are you going to be able to start? And as a 3rd-round draft pick, are you going to be able to start at nose tackle? Man, you better be. Your tape better double in production from what you were doing in college if you think you're going to start at that position in a defense in a situation where Green Bay is expecting to go to the Super Bowl next year. You need a Super Bowl caliber defense. Is that realistic? I don't think so. I don't think that the edge player. Are you going to get some snaps? Absolutely, especially with Micah being out early. Does he have the bend? Does he have the NFL pass rush? Is he just going to be a run-stopping, a gap filler? Probably. That's usually what these guys are early on in their careers. Like most guys don't hit at that position early on. So you start, and then you look at the offensive lineman. I feel like we're probably kind of set, at least for the first half of the season, unless barring injury.
Right.
We got some guys backing up that. Listen, I feel pretty good about some of our backup guards getting a shot at playing one of those positions if anything happens in the preseason. So. Yeah, I'm with you. You're in a really good spot because you have a good football team with good football players on it. And when that happens and you don't have a 1st-round draft pick because you traded for a potential defensive MVP last year, well, there's not a lot of picks that you should think, or I suppose you should say, I hope a lot of these guys don't play because the guys that we have are already so good. But time will tell. The draft thing for me is always like, let's just see what happens when training camp starts, because we can sit here and speculate. A lot of the tape that they show, you're looking for movement traits and whatnot, but the actual play on the field doesn't translate to the NFL that well. What
need would you like to see them go out and get a veteran at right now? I mean, there's veteran offensive tackles out there. There's veteran guards out there. Taylor Decker's out there. Zeitler's out there, I believe. I mean, as far as offensive linemen go.
Taylor Decker, if you even think he might be healthy, that would be a hell of a pickup. That would be because we just don't know. And Jordan Morgan is been put in a really kind of interesting spot over the last couple of years, probably being drafted, in my opinion, probably higher than he should have been, having to move around last year. Doesn't look great at certain positions. Had a great preseason at left tackle last year, and I think a lot of people are kind of banking off that. Obviously, the Packers see something over the course of every practice that he's been in during the season that make them feel like, okay, he's just our walk-in starter. But gosh, you look at that veteran presence in a guy like Taylor Decker in a line that quite frankly underperformed last year. You'd love to see something like that. But on the other hand, look, they don't have pass rush aside from Micah Parsons. They just don't. And Barry went to the Jets. Like, he was kind of a guy that I really liked. He comes in the spot, makes plays on the spot every once in a while. But are we talking like 3 technique? We get into nickel. We like Brooks, but I just don't see where that double team need is on the interior. And you're just kind of putting yourself in a spot where Mike is going to do his thing. There's no question. And I don't know that you can double team him. But the reality is that position is so much more dangerous, valuable, whatever the word is you want to use, if there's just one more guy that has to, get some attention on the defensive line. And right now, they don't have it. And as you know, Sparky, like, if you don't have a good pass rush, I don't care how good your secondary is. And I think there's some components in our secondary that are A+. I think there's 3 guys back there that are A+. But it doesn't matter if you can't get to the quarterback. And
where are you at on Lucas? Where are you at on Lucas Van Ness?
I think he's in the same position as Jordan Morgan. He's played more, he's shown more, but he probably got drafted a little bit out of turn in the first round. There's a lot of expectations for him. When you watch his college tape, he's an athlete, no question about it. He plays extremely hard. That's where he makes all his production. But as far as like, I work with offensive linemen, so I've watched him a ton just from that. Like, how do I beat that guy? He doesn't give you anything you have to worry about from a pass rush standpoint yet. Now, he might learn some moves in the offseason. I know they brought in a coach last year. It didn't seem to help his production as far as like what I'm watching on tape. So there's work to be done there. But again, he's got traits. And just to bring it back to another Iowa guy, Aaron Campbell didn't look like anything for like 4 or 5 years. And then all of a sudden he was an all-pro. So you just don't know when those guys are going to hit. But being in that first round that first round slot and having those expectations, I don't think it's fair for him. I don't think it's fair for Jordan Morgan, but that's the reality of kind of how we have to judge those guys. And, if those guys are third round picks, we probably feel really good about them.
How big of a concern do you think it is losing Quay Walker, Mike Wahle?
I really thought Quay played well last year. And I know that we can look at some like PFF stats for what it's worth about how he is in coverage and this and that. I think Quay fills a very specific need on your defense. When you point him downhill, you give him gaps to run through. You put him on run stunts. He's a great at Georgia. He was a fantastic pass rushing linebacker. Put him in the A gap. Put him up against the running back. He killed people. He did that last year. He did that year before. There's just other parts of his game that were a little bit slower to pick up. I thought he came along pretty well last year, but I do think they made an upgrade with Franklin. Quite frankly, if everybody's healthy, I take Franklin over Quay.
That's a beautiful thing. There is Mike Wahle. Follow him on X at Mike Wahle 68. And of course, you are a podcasting fool as well. Tell everybody about your podcast.
Well, we're on a bit of a hiatus. Like I said, I don't spend too much time with the draft. But when we come back, we'll do block party next year with every Packer football game, breakdown tape. I'm going to have some new things this year because I've been working on some, Sparky trying to get into the tech game, a little bit of AI. So we'll have a little more in-depth information. Next year.
I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that.
Listen, let me tell you something. That's a whole other thread, Sparky. It's absolutely driving me insane. But you know what? It's something I've been working on for like 5 years ago. I wanted to do something that I thought would be really unique for football. Couldn't get it done because the system wasn't out there. It's out there now, and I'm just flopping and struggling through it. But if I get it up, it's going to be pretty cool.
All right. Sounds good. I'm here to promote it and help you out. Mike Wahle, thank you so much, my friend. We'll talk down the line.
See you later, Sparky. Thanks, man.
You betcha. There he goes. Mike Wahle trying to play the AI game. We'll see how that goes. Joining us there on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That is all. I always love having Mike Wahle on this show.
He's always good. Tommy walked in here and the first thing he said was, wow, Mike Wahle is so bald. So bald is what he just whispered in my ear.
Yeah. Well, we'll bring Mike Wahle in studio, then you can tell him how so bald
exactly
he is. And when you get Victor Wembanyama, I do not want to hear about anything at all from you. I don't want to hear about I'm getting HR involved because my response is gonna be I didn't see anything,
hey,
Judge.
I did not say that Mike Wahle wouldn't be able to kick my what. Like I know he would. I am saying it as a compliment, as someone who is going to be bald at some point in their life. Mike Wahle
he aspires for that baldness. Yeah.
Exactly how bald I want to be when I just go
just
bald.
Totally bald.
Yeah, I mean, like,
well, let's start it tomorrow. We'll shave it on the air.
Oh, good idea.
Let's shave it tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll stream it and we'll shave it tomorrow.
I'm not.
I'll do it.
Quite there yet.
We could get him a hair regrowth thing.
A hair regrowth endorsement?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that like cheating, like to go full ball? I guess you got to do
you
that.
You get hair
right?
plugs. That's a surgery, though.
Yeah, but then they got to send me to like Turkey or whatever to do it, right?
No, I know a guy.
In the States?
Oh, hair plug guy, yeah.
Hair plug guy.
I got a hair plug guy.
Do you have hair plugs?
No.
See, I mean, we can't have all the luscious locks like you do.
Yeah.
Once I'm like 30, I'm pretty confident I'm just going to shave my head.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It's not great, man. I mean, like,
just shave it.
Ah, it's not bad.
I think so.
Yeah. No, I don't. I would never shave my head. My head's gigantic.
But
though.
You don't have a spot.
But the problem is, this is my issue. Nobody really knows how they're going to look with a shaved head until it's shaved. Yeah. And then you're screwed. Because then your option is, but at least in radio, you can just wear a ball cap. You don't have, like some people shave their head and they work in an office where you can't wear a ball cap. If you shave your head and go, oh my God, this is not good, You could just wear your Brewer cap every day. Nobody will know the difference.
I don't think the girlfriend wants me to shave I brought it up subtly already. Already. I've just been like, when I'm bald or whatever, I was like, maybe I'll just shave my head all the way now. And she's like,
no, not a good idea. Not yet.
No. So I've just warned her already, though, that
I
it's
understand.
going to
After
be
the wedding is probably the better time. You wanted to still have hair in the wedding pictures.
Well, you don't want to go bald when you have your first kid, though. You don't want to scare them that partway through.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, if he's got a bald head, she can use baby powder on that behind and that head.
I didn't even hear. I can't hear Charlie. I don't have headphones.
He's just laughing right
I know
now.
you guys. Yeah, but he set you up for something there with children. I'm not. We're not there. We're not there yet, Spark. I don't know why. You were trying to manifest so much. I just got done telling Chuck since November 1st. I don't even know.
Great idea. 414. Thank you very much. Tell Tommy to use AI to see what he looks like bald.
Oh,
that's a great idea. Then you can show your girl, be like, this is what it looks like.
Gosh,
Charlie, your mission is between now and 5 o'clock to find AI to make him bald so we can put it on a stream.
Sure.
And let's see what people think.
All right, we'll get Gemini I'll take a photo of myself.
Yeah.
See how I look bald.
I am very intrigued. Yeah, I'm very.
I don't think it even takes till 5 o'clock. I think we can do it by the time the break's done. Yeah, I think we can.
Very good. All right, take a quick time out. Come back. How much of a gap do you think there is between the Brewers and the Cubs right now? That's topic A we could do. Or, Charlie, we could do topic B, which is another topic we didn't do. Is there a scenario in which you would be willing to trade Jesus Madej? And we have that tweet to go off of on the Madej thing. We did not just make this up. So we have that as well. I got a bunch of responses when I said we were going to talk about this today. So Madej or the Brewers Cubs thing. Either one we can do tomorrow if we don't do it today. Which would you prefer?
Let's save Madej for tomorrow.
You want to do Madej tomorrow?
I want to save Madej for tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough. Coming up next, how much of a gap do you think there is between the Brewers and Cubs right now? It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, step up to the plate. Take a shot at winning major prizes in the $300,000 Big League Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. April through June, you can win a share of $300,000 in prizes. All monthly promo entries count towards the grand finale drawings on June 26th. Get triple the entries during Brewers home games and score one of 3 all-new Toyota vehicles. More info online. Must be 21 and rewards member to play. Only at Potawatomi. Do you have it? That's not horrible. That's actually not horrible,
right,
Tommy.
We'll send it to.
Show Charlie. Go walk over here.
I have one of Tommy on my side too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
I think you could pull that off.
I think I could.
I think that's okay.
All right, we'll put it on stream.
Yeah, I know.
On the other side break here, then.
I don't think that's bad. I've seen much worse.
Much worse
in real life after they already did it. I mean, that's just I think you'll be okay.
Right.
The other thing you don't
The
other thing you don't know is you don't know if you have like moles and stuff on your head. Do you have moles and stuff on your head? Because that also would change
I used
the
to
game.
have one on my cheek, so maybe I have one on my head. I don't know.
Because that would be
oh God, that looks way worse than the photo I have.
You're not on the stream. You need to be. Hurry up and get there. There is the Tommy.
God, that is so much worse than the photo I just took. Why do I look like that? What's going on with that?
It looks like they put a bald cap on top of your head. That's what it looks like.
All right.
The one you have is far more natural looking.
Well, so that one
was horrible.
That one I'm probably 30 pounds heavier, and I think I was 21 when I took that photo because that's the one that
the photo before you went bald.
Well, that's the photo that
he
used.
picked.
I'm
Yeah,
saying.
right.
I think that's my old. I don't even know how he has that one anymore.
It
Because
was Google Tommy Words.
Everybody could get that photo. Then.
Well, that was my old LinkedIn photo. So maybe
that's why it's on
Googled
Google.
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's on Google.
You know, if you can Google like. You can Gemini like when you look up.
Oh my goodness!
When you look up the podcast, Best Brewers Coverage, what we post all of our stuff on for Potawatomi Sportsbook post game show, leadoff show, all of that. I pop up in Gemini now.
Really?
Like Tommy Wirtz hosts the leadoff show.
Wow,
Tim
nice.
Allen.
Yeah,
this
just
whole-
another
it's
big
kinda
time
weird.
moment for big time Tom.
Another big time moment. Yeah, it is what it is. Ziggy says AI is going to make Tommy look like Vin Diesel, but we actually get as Slim Diesel.
Slim Diesel.
Says Ziggy. So yeah, there you go. All right, talk about the Brewers and the Cubs. The gap in between. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from Wisconsin Sports Radio Network Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Man, this is the music they're going to play when Tommy's bald head comes rolling in. Right here, man.
I mean, that photo of me is so not flattering.
You can see it right now on X and YouTube. Whoa!
I mean, look at that.
Tell you, if you're not streaming the show, you are missing out today. More of the pictures. Tommy Diesel, that is.
I used to go goatee when I just didn't want to worry about anything shaving off, and now I don't do it anymore. You said you can goatee though.
I did once.
Yeah.
I did, and my two older kids loved it. And back in the day, Gary Larson and Leroy were like, "Man, you look actually tough wearing that thing, right? You kind of look mean,
tough."
Right? I was like, "Oh, that's good." Okay. Hated it. Never, ever again will I get allowed to do that.
He didn't send any of the photos that I just sent him here. He used the bad one. Of the
bad one's better.
It looks great.
Well, I think this is what we should start using when Tommy pops on the show.
Oh,
I think it's
joining us now.
You were saying we need something or the camera
set
set
the
up.
video camera to work so we can see him every time he comes
That
in. He's in
is-
so often.
Does that look like Mike Wall?
That does not look like Mike Wall.
Does it look like that guy could have played
Nope.
10 years in the NFL right there?
No, you look like a school teacher.
Oh, I would not let my kids go to that school.
Yeah, not good. All right, back to topics at hand involving the wide world of sports. Still to come, things Sparky missed. Yes, we are going to talk about Andrew Fisher. Yes, you're going to hear the home runs coming up. I got called out on that 20 minutes into the show. Why haven't we heard from about the Andrew Fisher homers yet? Okay, I said we'd get to it. So that comes up here in about 10 or so minutes. I'm just curious. There's a 3.5 game difference right now between the Brewers and the Chicago Cubs. Somebody texted in bald to the bone.
I mean, again, like, you guys are so welcome for all the content I bring you guys. I mean,
That's
just
amazing.
wouldn't have nearly
would have
as
just
much
had a
laughs.
normal show and you walked in and yeah, that is what it is. How much of a gap do you think there is between the Brewers and Cubs right now? Nikolai Law talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250 on the socials at WI Sports Radio, streaming live on YouTube, X, and Instagram Live, plus on the Fan Milwaukee Facebook page too. How much of a gap do you think there is? Right now, it says it's 3.5 games. That's what it says. Brewers have won 9 of 12 right now. Cubs actually have lost a couple games in a row for possibly the first time this year, maybe the second time this year. They haven't done it much. And the Brewers are rolling right now. I believe the longest winning streak in baseball at 4 games as we sit here today on an off day for the Milwaukee Brewers. How much of a gap do you think there is right now between the Brewers and Cubs, Charlie? Both teams banged up by injuries to start the season.
And both teams look like they're persevering through those injuries too. I think the only thing that's standing out for me for the Cubs right now, and why the past couple seasons it's made me hesitant to want to say, oh, they found it, is the fact that throughout the rest of this season, they seem to have slowed down in past years. And I think this year I can kind of feel that coming a little bit with the Chicago Cubs. I think their offense is playing at a higher level than I think a lot of people expected their offense to be playing this early in the season. At least Moises Ballesteros has come out on the big stage and has looked awesome for this team. Dansby Swanson has looked like the clutch guy of the season for the entire MLB. Feels like sometimes he just hits crazy stuff. You've seen Nico Horner be this MVP caliber player in some people's minds. I know a lot of Brewers fans hate that type of talk because they look at Bryce Terang and he's also playing at an MVP caliber level, but Nico Horner has been there defensively. He's been the best second baseman in baseball. Like, there's a lot to like about this Cubs team that I just don't expect to last throughout the entirety of the season, especially Nico Horner playing at the MVP level. I think there's a lot more with this Brewers team that we haven't seen yet still. And I think you're going to start seeing that coming on for this Brewers squad. And I think that's more dangerous than what we're seeing from the Cubs right now.
And that's part of this. I think when you look at both of these teams, like, are either one of these teams right now peaking as we sit here in May? Like, is this the best they're going to play at any point the rest of the year kind of going forward? And I think potentially for the Chicago Cubs, I think you might be able to argue that maybe they are peaking. 2 10-game winning streaks. Is that what it is right now?
Yep.
I mean, before game 40, that is an unbelievable hot stretch to get on this early in the season. Now, can they put together another 40-game stretch like this throughout the course of the season? Seems unlikely that they get that hot again, potentially at this point, Charlie.
Unlikely, but I guess not unbelievable completely in my mind. I think there's something with this Cubs offense that does feel a little bit more aggressive than the past few years, but I think that can get them into trouble at points. And you look at this Brewers team and they just seem more set for who they are and what they're doing. I don't think the Cubs throughout the entire of the season, if they get into a rough spot instead of staying hot like we're talking about, are they going to be able to dig themselves out of it by just saying, oh, let's go back to what we do best? Because really, what is that for this Cubs team? They're doing a lot great right now, and that's what they started with last season, and then it fell off when they stumbled a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you the difference here. Simply, as far as offense goes, Cubs are hitting 252. That's fifth best in all of Major League Baseball. The Brewers right in the middle of Major League Baseball at 240, 15th. What they do best, they get on base. 347, number one in all of baseball are the Cubs. The 347 on base percentage. The good news for the Brewers are, even though their batting average isn't as good, they're in seventh when it comes to on base percentage. And really, they're tied with two other teams. And really, technically, they would be in fifth place if they weren't in a tie with the Yankees and Astros with on base percentage at 333. So clearly, the Cubs definitely do that best. And then you get the slugging percentage. And here is the difference. The Cubs are fifth at 417. The Brewers are third worst in baseball. Around the Brewers, the Giants at 27th, then the Brewers at 28th, then the Red Sox and the Mets, all losing garbage teams at the bottom. And the Brewers, somehow or another, even being as bad as they are with slugging numbers, are sitting right there with a chance to still be really good this year.
And I think what gives you a little bit of hope, even though they're that low, is a lot of those teams around them, the Giants, the Red Sox, maybe not the Mets, but those two teams, I think you could see later on the season maybe finding their power stroke because of the players that are just on their squad. If the Brewers can also do that, maybe if they make a trade to maybe some of these guys that they bring up from the minor leagues eventually, because injuries will happen and they will have to get their shot, I think you could see some kind of stroke of power come for this Brewers team like we saw last season happen for them.
414, there's a big gap because the Brewers are far superior than the Cubs. And I'd love to agree with you, but I'm not there. Home runs, the Yankees, who the Brewers just swept, 63 home runs on the year. The Milwaukee Brewers, how many do you think they have?
Last time we asked this question, they were at 19, I believe. They've been a little more consistent with getting the ball out of the park since then. I would say like 27, 28.
Close. 26, tied for worst in baseball with the San Francisco Giants. 26. The Yankees have 63. The Braves also really good. 57. The Reds have gone into a complete tailspin. They're at 53 with the Dodgers, tied for third in all of Major League Baseball. So again, you start talking about power. That's clearly the issue. Now you go to pitching on the other side of things and talk about gaps there. ERA, the Brewers fourth best in all of Major League Baseball with pitching. The Cubs 9, 3.81. The Brewers with a 3.43 ERA at this point. That's a big difference. How about WHIP? Walk splits, hits divided by innings pitched. Cubs fifth. The Brewers all the way down in a 10th, which talks about the amount of walks they're giving up this year.
Right, but with the way that they play defense, those walks don't really result in too much. With their offense on the other side of things, the high rate that they walk at there, I think affects a lot of these other teams that they're playing. And those teams make mistakes. They make errors. They get pass balls, and the Brewers take advantage.
The other area that I don't think people talk about a lot is home runs allowed for the Milwaukee Brewers. The worst team in baseball are the Colorado Rockies at 59 home runs.
Makes sense.
The Cubs are 26th at 50 home runs allowed. They're down there with the Guardians, the Astros, the Nationals, and the Rockies. The Brewers are the best team in baseball, having only allowed 30 home runs on the season. The best team in baseball. Second is the Pirates, then the Yankees, Marlins, Tigers. Top 5 in baseball with home runs allowed.
And all good company to be a part of. Feels like that's all like Jacob Mizorowski and Brandon Sproat, because those are only hits that Jacob Mizorowski gives up. It feels like in Brandon Sproat.
And Harrison will give up some long balls too. Yes.
But this Brewers team, again, that's really good company to be a part of. And it's really bad news for the Cubs to be kind of in that bottom, especially when you're at as high in the ERA numbers as you are. Feels like, again, another thing that could come plummeting down for the Cubs, especially if 1 to 2 more injuries happen to that bullpen or to that starting rotation.
I think from a Brewers fan perspective, I don't need to see any more injuries with the Cubs in the starting rotation or pitching. I'm good. The one thing that will hurt the Cubs more than that would be if something happens to a couple of their everyday position players. If you lose a significant bat, that could completely spiral this whole thing out of control if you lose an important bat. The Brewers have lost 3 important bats, and seemingly have been able to overcome it kind of going forward. And the guy that was supposed to be their best pitcher hasn't been himself at any point in Brandon Woodruff to start the season.
The Cubs don't have nearly as deep of a farm system as the Brewers do and don't have nearly as many options to come up if they get into a situation like that. They got about Kevin Alcantara, and that's it. Outside of that, Moises Ballesteros is already at the MLB level, starting every day for you too. So if you lose him in the DH spot, what do you do there? How do you switch up the catcher role? Like, there's a lot of questions that Cubs team needs to answer if one of their daily position players gets hurt.
It's fun when you look at a division, they all have winning records. It's a pretty cool thing to realize.
4 of the teams are in everybody's top 10 power rankings. It's crazy.
It is. It's absolutely crazy, but it's fun to watch. Everybody said this was going to be a competitive division this year, and nobody saw the Cardinals being this good. I think some people thought the Pirates were going to be better. Some people thought the Reds were going to be better. Everybody assumed Brewers and Cubs, and then maybe another team. Nobody saw the Cardinals, and they have some staying power right now. So we'll see how long the Cardinals can hang around too. All winners right now, just like our friends over there at Habish, and Rotier. I heard Trevor this morning plead the fifth himself when asked about something concerning Aaron Rodgers earlier today, which is pretty funny. He goes, I plead the fifth, and didn't want to talk about it. It's really good. It's catching on. Plead the fifth every Friday at 4:20. Your turn to tell somebody to hush it and don't talk on topics like that, man. You make yourself look bad, right? Every Friday, you can nominate somebody to be a part of that segment. National reputation, hometown service. They have the national reputation. Why? Because some of the lawsuits and stuff that they've won is turned around safety laws and created new safety laws and so forth. And the other part about this is they win, and they win a lot. But the hometown service, that's the most important thing. That's where, they're approachable. That's where they take your case as seriously as they take all their other cases. When you come in, when you walk out, you're not like, did that person listen to me? Do they even know what my name is? Do they know anything about my kids? Because I felt like they were busy doing everything but listening to me and talking to me and really taking in what I had to say. You don't want that. Trust me. You don't want that from your doctor. You don't want that from a nurse in a hospital bed when you're sitting there trying to get medicine or whatever. You want people that, even if you're acting, act like you care. Act like you love me, right? Fake it till you make it. Whatever you got to do. And these people don't have to fake it. They truly do care. Check them out today. Habish.com. Again, Habish, and Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. If you're hurt in a car accident, there's only one choice. Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you. Hope y'all are well here on a Monday. Coming up in just a few minutes, Wisconsin Sports wrap up with Baldy. Tommy Wirtz coming up in just a little bit. No, he did not shave his head, if you're all freaking out. We were talking about it earlier about him potentially shaving his head. And if you missed any of the live stream, I promise you, go back in the 4 o'clock hour and look at the AI pictures that we have that we were putting above Tommy bald. And they found one of me bald too. So that was fun. They had good fun with that.
We did.
It is that time of the show where we always like to catch up on what we may have missed on the show.
What story did Sparky miss talking about today on Wisconsin Sports Daily? Don't you worry. Sparky's got you covered now.
All right, now something that I got called out on in the first segment of the show for not playing yet. We're going to do right now. Andrew Fisher didn't just hit one homer. He hit 2 homers for the T-Rats.
Swing and a drive to right field and deep. This ball is going to be a home run onto the street for Andrew Fisher. He kept it fair down the line and hit it way out of here for his second home run of the afternoon. And the Rattlers now lead it 15-5.
Unbelievable. Great call there by the Timber Rattlers radio. Andrew Fisher was named the minor league player of the week for high A as far as the hitter goes. 9 hits, 6 of which went for extra bases last week while driving in 7 runs and scoring 8 times for the Timber Rattlers last week. That's pretty good.
That's pretty solid. Yeah.
Brewers player development on X. Andrew Fisher had an incredible day Sunday, 4 for 6, 2 homers, and a triple. Fisher's power number ranks among all full season minor leaguers right now. 988 OPS, 95th percentile. 623 slugging, 97th percentile. And 349 ISO, 98th percentile. Goodness gracious. I'm telling y'all, man, go buy yourself some Andrew Fisher, anything you can get your hands on. I was very disappointed about that too. T-Rats game, I thought I could find some Andrew Fisher jerseys or something.
Yeah, something.
I don't think I saw anything. Maybe I missed it in the team store, but
I go a little later in the season.
Or a jersey shirt, like an Andrew Fisher jersey shirt. I think I would have bought one of those.
Again, maybe just go a little later in the season, see what happens. If he's still there later in the season, because Brock Wilkin is currently still batting 179 with 2 home runs and 21 RBIs at the AAA level. So not too great. So you may see a switcheroo here coming soon.
Definitely not so good. Something else that we didn't get to on today's show, the UFL had a new wrinkle this weekend with an in-game interview featuring the field judge after a no pass interference call.
Daily, I want to have some conversations with Ricky Prohl about a penalty or not a penalty with these contested throws, especially to Hakeem. How do you judge that?
If there's a back shoulder and I'm looking at that and, there's no material restriction, I'm just going to leave it alone, to be honest with you.
So if the throw is not where it should be, if that throw's not there, you're not going to reward a poor throw on something like that.
Yeah, that works. That works for me.
That works for me. I'm telling you right now, if they bring this to the NFL, referees are going to get exposed quickly.
They're not bringing this to the
I
NFL.
want it.
That UFL ref
Bring
did
it.
not. He was so uncomfortable. He's like trying to avoid the microphone.
That
and not want
works
to
for
answer.
me. He said, whatever you want to say. We're good, Ricky Prohl. Whatever you want to say.
Get out of my face.
Oh, man, that was. Oh, please bring that to the NFL. Please, please, please bring that to the NFL. That would be wonderful. That'll do it for Wisconsin Sports Daily today. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks for listening here on a Monday afternoon. Coming up next again, Wisconsin Sports Wrap-Up with Tommy Wirtz to get you the best of what happened on today's show. If you missed anything earlier today, we had Tim Dillard on and Mike Wahle on. Go to wisportsradio.com. Have a good night, Wisconsin. Toodles.